Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to every one of you. There's a new broadcast. We're just coming back again now. So please join us, share, like, and let's talk about the things that's affecting us in Nigeria. Thank you very much, my people. As soon as those Dragons enter this second brand, let's move on with it. So you guys have the floor. I leave the floor for you guys. For those of you that want to join us, I'll post a link right now. You can come in. God bless you all. Augustine,
Thank
you
you.
guys can go on.
Okay.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
the
I just want to say that this is what we did a year ago. We're
yeah,
all here watching the election. So if we are
exactly.
going beyond normal time, you should be allowed for today.
It's true. Yes, yes. So because not the anniversary be this, so 25th May to
Yeah.
20. Yes, exactly. Around this
Honestly,
time we
it
say
was it was well deserved. It was well
it was
deserved.
it was well desired, yeah, because we did a night vigil. Well, exactly.
Who
Spent,
deserve? Who
spent
deserve? Now I don't lost. So
16 hours on air that day. 16 hours.
Yeah, yes. I mean, that's what I'm saying because I remember I have to come early that Saturday, so I no one miss sport. Because I did with you from morning. We just they follow the thing up. So
No,
Faso
no,
Rock,
not be that the nine they asked me say me I need a sleep because that day I know say uh,
Faso Rock. You know, when people they queue for food,
you
they
just
die.
like Asu Rock.
No, no, nah, they follow up your story now. No, be you bring up.
You see,
No,
I
be you
tell
bring
you
up.
just now, when I see your guy Chris, so when I
I
see
know,
your
I
guy
know.
Chris, they talk say
No,
good night just now.
he asked for link. I
Even
see, and
Madam Luke, we don't go
They
sleep
don't
already.
hear the story, but they keep quiet. They want to make somebody bring her up.
no, no, the one who go confirm and they say the news
Now
when we the
give
wait
us
for
a
Aso Rock.
mandate. This man matter don't tire me. I dey pray make he give up. He not give up. He not give up. He continue to interject
no
the
see
program.
call that man will say make you buy me make you buy me for this channel. Call that man maybe he go fit tell you what he go do.
So 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 which means for Aso Rock, instead of them to submit resignation letter in the talk of say make people there on red alert. Red alert for what? Say rise they fall or, or waiting. Black Panther fair post now. Which one? No, be you bring the news.
You
Which
know
one?
what? Let me tell you one thing. What they happen?
Yeah.
I they talk this thing. Most of them I they talk out of ignorance. I am talking out of I call some people who be junior officers. I
Yeah.
call some police officers, but my friend, my juniors, I call them, ask them, try to get some information out of them. When I got some information, it's like I'm investigating, but I'm not getting from what they are saying. They are trying
Mm.
to hide information from me, but they are still giving it out in a coded form. So I got it. You see, the military. When I said it here, people were thinking I was joking. The military is divided. Who divided the military? It's Agbado himself. When you want to change the formation of military, you don't change the formation putting all your tribesmen in intact. We are from 1 to 5. You don't do that. Nigeria is not made in that situation. And you know that you sign an agreement. And sometimes you know the history. How these people go roundabout and say some kind of thing that they don't want what you are doing. They want to teleguide you. And history has not shown us that you can really stand your foot and face them headlong. You understand?
But
So
but
from
but
that
Black Panther,
perspective, they now
Black Panther.
release that there is a prospect of the junior officers arising. So they put that red alert on Aso Rock and they do a lot of re-strategizing.
See all this.
Mr. Elvis, I share two links
Wait,
with you now. You will see it on
Black
in those links.
Black Panther. Whether re-strategizing or junior officer or arising, all this one are your grammar. Say me, I just dey
I
listen.
don't
When
want to open everything. You know
Okay,
where
let
they
me.
go now.
I don't know. I know which one. I follow you. I don't know where you they go. Yeah, you carry me where
You
you
of
they confuse.
una be like police.
You say junior officers they strategize, then go arise, then go. So me, I know all these things. Arise. Who be junior officer? Who be senior officer? I know. you know. When you still. When you still. They said stealing the village drum. The village drum is very easy. Now to find where you go beat them, now be the problem. Na be the problem. So so now be the be the problem. Anyway, well, to be honest with you, like I said earlier, this is the time to bring out that Jonathan's conference
Okay.
quickly.
Sorry, Oga CM. I think we should discuss this. It doesn't matter as long as it's already on air out there. This the plot that they are planning against the Aso Rock right now. So we don't know who is doing that. I'm just seeing it right now, so you all can see there. Our Presidential Guard Brigade placed on high alert over suspicions of coup plot in Nigeria. Key brigade under watch as commander hold emergency meeting with Tinubu and Gbajabiamila. But I'm going to look for a more legitimate body that have reported it, because this is just an X account that have a tick. Let me see if I can find a proper account that is a mainstream media, if they have carried it. Do you have any mainstream media that have reported it at all?
No, the mainstream media, they're not going to try it.
They won't say it, though. They
won't say it like they told them not to talk say that kind of things.
Okay.
And normally, if this thing is going to be a coup, it has already failed. It's going to be a coup.
It has failed, right?
Because it don't leak. It don't leak.
Yeah, it has failed. But we may also not be able to confirm that, because one thing is this government is truly a government of propaganda. Now, they may be doing this to feel the pulse of the people, to see what is going on, but something may be going on under the ground. Let's just see our own, and then let's see what
even though
a military coup cannot be revealed until the agenda has something like this is the propaganda that they want to see people reaction.
Exactly.
Okay, but now let me say something over the reaction, please. The rules of the platform is very, very essential. Nobody should make any comment here in support of things like that, even though you want to talk about it. So it's better you don't talk about it if you know you want to say, oh, this thing must happen or whatever. Not on this platform, please. Thank you very much, my people.
Okay, yeah. Anyway, to me, I do not even. I do rather. It's as if I knew this type of rumor go around or whatever. I felt that this man has even waited long. Bring out that 2014 document. Start implementing it. It will help, because so that Nigerians.
But I have one question for you, sir.
It will, yeah.
Okay, see, now we know who this person is. Buhari 2014 agenda, that deliberation was there for Buhari 8 years.
Yes.
He did not bring it out.
Buhari doesn't want. He said it openly that he doesn't want it because he felt.
And you think that this one will bring it out?
Give us our mandate and CM.
No. Yeah, that's what
give
I
us
felt.
Our mandate and CM. You see, you know why Buhari didn't bring it out? It is because you and I did not speak. We were silent. I don't know who glue our mouth. All the whole Nigerian, the whole lawyers, everybody was silent. Oh, let's give him a chance.
But
the discipline man is here. Let's give him a chance.
Black Panther. But to be fair also, Jonathan still had the opportunity, at least 6 months. Yeah. He didn't do anything about it as well. If Jonathan had actually, initiated it, even just to initiate the process, of bringing out even the white paper now, not even just the white paper. These are the areas that we are going to tackle, from all these.
No. Let me say something. You see, let me tell you one thing. When something like this is done, there is a man that will propose it. There is a man that will bring it out for the laws to be made. There is another man that will go ahead of those two people. Jonathan has fulfilled his part, has set a template for the Nigerian people to deliberate upon. Whether you like it or not, Jonathan has fulfilled that portion of his own part. For him to continue, there was no way he could have continued, because all these Bakobe, all these Bakobe from Lagos, and they form a rally. Wait, may I land down? You see, during that time where Jonathan do this thing, that was when petroleum subsidy override. They purposely did that. But the purpose did that to override that template that they discussed on.
No, the
That was,
petroleum
yes,
subsidy was,
that is where these people they think ahead.
petroleum subsidy was 2012, but the conference started in 2014.
2014. They didn't say anything. They brought all the old wahala come for Jonathan head. So Jonathan had to keep, not to escalate things, because you know get liver. So he go the way, because a gentleman will always go that way. He don't do his part. Let another person do him.
To be honest with you, this government, that to me, that is what he will do. The moment he starts discussion on it, I know there is hunger. People will see the way out. Because deliberately, part of our problem is the system we operate. We all know it. That is part of the root cause of our problem is this type of federalism that is so centralized and no way that somebody can have a breathing space. Nothing. Everything
It's
is
not
just
a federalism. Don't call it federalism.
Okay, yeah, no, but in name now. So if for Nigeria to, because that one was 2014, 400 years after amalgamation, Jonathan sort of set it up. Let Nigeria renegotiate. Let's just say we are renegotiating our country, which makes sense. So to me, that's why I said before, there's a tendency that I don't think the Southwest will say they don't like a devolution of power, neither the Southeast or South or even South. So any play with people when no agree, hey, maybe you leave them. Those way green now, because
Agbado not like him because he no forget this presidency to say we'll get that law intact.
See, listen, let me tell you one thing, Black Panther. You can be a president of a country for 20 years. You become a footnote. But you can be a president for 1 year, 6 months, 2 years. You forever. Look at Thomas Sankara. How many years he rule Burkina Faso? But people remember him more than all these people. No, I mean, because you did something significant in the life of a country. You bring it to say this is that document that for Nigeria to coexist. Nobody go accuse you of anything because most of those delegates that sat down to discuss those things are still alive. Imagine somebody like Professor Michael Zekome hears it. He say, yes, this is because Arise go begin to discuss them. All the TV, they say this is what we discuss is 14. We should have put it in place. By the way, if we cannot implement, why do we have it? Why did we sit down to discuss? Only to agree. Is it not what led to the war? That is Aburi. You went to Aburi to find peace. After discussing and agreeing, you come back, you didn't do it. Then it led to another thing. This 2014, Nigerians sat down to discuss it and arrive at a conclusion that this is what they want. And they agreed. They are well, everything. Then why not put it into practice? Does it mean you wasted that money? No. Why? Anybody? That's why I mean, Payo Adeban just said, if you don't like it, what didn't you like in it? Because he was telling Buhari, he said, bring it out. When people say I don't like, he said, which one didn't you like? So many items they discussed. So you can't tell me you throw it away like that. And that is what
Augusty and my beg. Can somebody just summarize that 214 confab for us so make we learn well? Thank you.
The book plenty. You go online or.
The thing plenty.
Just the highlights. I beg. I looked at it. It didn't give me a.
So I mean, not go give it. You see this lady. So
I think
say never see him. So he don't see him before. Say,
I see the thing. I just close and sharp. I said, I beg. I need interpreter for this one.
I beg.
Make I try.
Okay, maybe Chris Tabia. Oh yeah, Chris. Over.
I said make I try more. Then I talk the one way I feel remember. I think good evening everybody. It's good to be with you guys again this evening. I think the key highlights and all the troubles spot where we face for this country soon. That confab attend to all of them. For example, concerning INEC, to talk about the head of INEC. The confab make am in such a way that no be person wey president go just wake up, choose any person wey like put for INEC again. I think the confab suggest and reach like that, say the political parties then go still get representative so that anything wey dey happen inside INEC, everybody go know. It not be a case of say they don't switch off beavers or so. If your political party, if you choose somebody where they corrupt, where then go feel manipulate for INEC board, now you sabi. Then the confab, he talked about, you can see if they have implemented that. So this nonsense that they just finished in 2023, it couldn't have happened. No way. Then it also talked about true federalism, as in, for example, it gave room for state police. That has been a major bane of contention in the country. State police, as in states can, on their own, start to organize their security architecture. So things like Buagu and the rest, this other one for Southwest, Amotekun, and Hisba police and all those things, there could have been a legal framework so that they will be glued directly to the national security structure. Then also the appointment of the Inspector General of Police. It also talked about that. It proposed that every region could get their own Inspector General of Police. So it's not this one where something will happen for those states now. They'll just put one man for them for Abuja. If you see the last time we Buhari did, now it's 2Gs, now he put for them, people will go to control up and down. So that whenever there is election, the president has interest in that state, all he needs to do is to tell the Inspector General of Police that he has interest, and the command will flow from that place. And also the Supreme Court. You see, the problem is that you see the issue of the Supreme Court now. That was why Hope Uzodinma was able to become the governor of Anambra State, even though he was number 4 on that list. Now, they proposed
it's not Anambra State, brother.
Imo State, I beg.
Imo State.
Imo
Sorry.
State.
Sorry.
Everybody you go, you pilot.
Not very Jerry. There's a reason I'm coming to that Nasarawa State. There's something that just I was thinking ahead of my thoughts. I was speaking ahead of my thoughts. Okay. Then these they are supposed to have a kind of a regional Supreme Court also. So what that essentially means is that you see,
like what you have in America, where every state has its own Supreme Court.
Supreme Court, yeah. Because now in Nigeria, if you want to do anything, all you need to do is to be able to, once you control the Supreme Court, look at our last case. We went to the court. Of course, the Supreme Court, they didn't look at any of the evidences that were presented. They just decided and do what they wanted to do in line with what the government that's in power wanted. But the structure of the Supreme Court, they wanted to decentralize it in such a way that each of the region, they have their own Supreme Court, so that if, for example, there's a problem in South region, you don't need the Supreme Court in Abuja to be the final, final court of last wherever. And this idea that when you are having problem, you have a governor is having problem, you go and pick one court injunction from Kano State. You have a problem in those states, you go and bring court injunction.
Nigeria,
because they say it's all federal. We are just a bunch of joke. I think Mr. Oduwari, he made a very, very crucial point that if somebody destroyed his father's upstairs, but that doesn't stop him from rebuilding that upstairs. He made that point, although he speaks in a very funny way, but he makes a lot of sense. I think the point he was trying to make with that is that if we talk about British colonial, blah, 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 it's been how many years? 60-something years, but they've not stopped us from developing. Because look at Malaysia and Singapore. These people, they have to literally change their constitution so that it can move ahead. Same thing.
Chris, yes, no, don't lose your thought. You know what you are saying. That's why my starting point of I know the quick blame Oyibo. I know we are nothing like draw map or boundary. We have what they call Electoral Act. Electoral Act, now we draft them. By Adobe Oyibo tell us. And now we write and say, if you present any document to INEC and they turns out to be fake, you are disqualified. Tinubu certificate to INEC, now fake now. Why wasn't he disqualified? So back to what we are saying. Now look at Oyibo now say make we not put this 2014. Very beautiful. You see, say the thing go escalate, go down tension. So there's something like South. If you get case with it, you can end it at the Supreme Court in the South. Not be said to carry and they go disturb everybody. So they know, but I don't know why. That is the issue. Why can't we put it into practice? If you come to the states, Ozekome said it that day. I think I'll go look at now. There are 2 states might say, why must we have this and have this? Why can't we merge resources? So you don't need the federal to authorize you. Now those 2 states could just come together, decide. A state might say, no, this local government is too much. Why can't we do it this way? Match 2 or 3 local governments and give them for better. If we agree, do it. So local government cannot be say, now Abuja go divide a local government out of maybe what is it called, Esako North. Esako North East, say want to divide it, you go Abuja, now you go. No, you can't. So it's the state. If you want to collapse them, if you want to increase them, now you sabi. So that is the type of tension they want to de-escalate in Nigeria, that anybody can now develop. Continue.
Yeah. And also, everybody cannot develop. I'll just take it from there. And resources of the state. The confab also provided that the place where resources is coming from, those people should have a large chunk of whatever is coming from there, and they pay tax to federal. They pay tax to federal, and also there's so many items on the exclusive list, many things you cannot touch because
they throw it out.
Yeah, those were the things that are holding us down. Like in the US, I think the federal government is only involved in military, immigration, and central security. So, for example,
banking and money.
Can I throw one surprising and shocking thing to every Nigerian right here?
Please
You
do.
see,
My
you
brother,
know that.
my brother, nothing they shock.
You know that.
Nothing
Wait
they,
now.
nothing
Wait.
they shock Nigerians.
No. I know. Now we here at the top.
Okay.
Black Panther, my friend.
See,
He said, yes, please.
This will shock you. Everybody here, this will shock you. You know the Deputy Secretary of Treasury in America is a Nigerian.
Oh, yes, now Yoruba chap. Yes, I know.
God bless you.
Adewale, Abi, what is his name?
You're welcome.
Yes.
Adewale.
Adewale something. Willie
Yeah, so
Adewale.
that's even, I'll just dig in. Based on that again, the 2014 confab also give this latitude for the best. You allow the opportunity for the best to always be given the opportunity to occupy positions. So they wanted to be
And Dr. CM is saying that he should bring it out. You think this guy will bring it out?
Please.
So they wanted to de-emphasize federal character. Dr. CM, I just allowed, there's no way they were going to remove that. Even the executive bill, the precede that Jonathan was doing, that every first-class graduate gets automatic scholarship to the US.
Yes.
You know, when Buhari came to power, that was the first thing he repealed.
He repealed. Can you imagine?
That
was the very first. So when people are arguing, and because the only reason is that particular stuff was favoring one section of the country, of course, the people that are doing well. But Buhari quickly threw it away, and they replaced it with what they call this thing they give some people 30,000 naira every month. So the point is that if you live in a nation that doesn't value you, it's not body's responsibility again to tell you how to react in that nation, in a contraptment that doesn't see you at its city. See, who is even a Nigerian? Well, let's just leave that. Then we're talking about resource control. It gave states ability to control their resources, and this cuteness in local government operation. You know, when they remove history from our curriculum, it was a very black day, and it was done by Obasanjo.
It's true.
Now, in local government, especially for those of us in the South that we are just shouting, one Nigeria, let's love our. See, Kano and Yobe, since Kano and Lagos states, they came into existence the same time. They have not divided Lagos state once, but they have shared Kano. 3 states have been carved out of Kano. But the original, after 3 states have been carved out of Kano, that single Kano today still have more local government than Lagos State. That has been existing the same time with Kano. So if you put the local governments in Yobe and this other state that was carved out from Kano State, if you put them together, just those 3 states alone, it's more than the whole local government in the whole of the South. And when people in the South start talking about this injustice, we are just saying, no, it's one Nigeria. No, it doesn't have to be like that. The marginalization is just too much, and people have to speak up. If you don't speak up, this is how we are going to remain. For example, look at the injustice happening in the north. You cannot tell me the minorities will always be ruling over the majority. Like 13 states out of the 19 northern states, I mean 14 states in the north, they have Fulani governors, and in these states, these people are
It's true.
minority.
It's
This
true.
is not, yeah, it's not against
It's
territory
true.
because the other people, they want to live in peace. They want to try and live in peace. But those people that are violent, they are using this violence to suppress the other people just because the other guys want to live in peace. Look at Edo State, for
true.
example. If the Benin speaking area, if they want to be the governor forever, they can do that.
Yeah.
But still, we still talk about need to rotate. It doesn't really matter where you come from the state. That is my personal view. It doesn't matter where you come from. If you are
Mr.
the
Chris, sorry to
Yeah.
interject you. You see, two of some of us.
This thing.
Are you hearing me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
This issue of some of the reason for my outburst, the first when we spoke, the reason for it is that majority of the people that come to speak, they like to speak going merry-go-round the circle. When you see people like that, they don't have information. When people like that speak, see what you just told us now. I have a brief knowledge of it, but I've not gone deep. I've not gone deep to really go and research very well. I've not, because the paper are plenty. Sometimes I'll just look at now one for Nigeria. This paper is plenty. You see one thing, but I will take time to do it. You see, information is very vital. It's not because you have a master degree holder, you are a doctor. You might lack the fundamentals information that you need as a weapon to speak to your own people, so that they'll be more enlightened. Look at what you've spoken now. If what you've spoken now, if you give it to the people out there, their trajectory will change because they don't know about what you've just spoken.
Exactly. You see, I was just coming to that. You see, the people that are looking at people that are speaking up as if they are troublesome, I believe it's because it's a lack of depth of information. Because if you have that information, tell me, for example, how can you justify the number of House of Rep members coming from only Kano State alone?
And Jigawa, about 20
Kano
something.
and Jigawa, that was the next state I was looking for. Kano, Jigawa, and let's even use Kano State alone. Compare the number of House of Rep members coming from there and use it to compare the ones coming from Edo, Delta, and Bayelsa from one state. So how do you expect to pass a law in that kind of a national assembly? And when people speak up, you are surprised that people are angry. Then, guys, I'm not the one making this up. I don't work in INEC. I don't work there. At least you guys know I don't work there. Now, they said that the Southeast, the voting population is small, blah, blah, blah. You have more population on the North. And we have been saying that there are fictitious numbers coming from the North. People don't take that. Look at Niger State. Look at the population of Niger State. Then look at the population of Imo State. Then look at the number of beavers. The number of beavers machine that was deployed to Imo, and look at the number that was deployed to Niger. That one will give you guys it's an eye opener.
It's true.
You cannot tell me you have more people in house A and you have fewer people in house B. Then you want to send food to house A. You send more food to where you have less people compared to where you have more people.
God bless you, Mr. Chris.
It's true.
So I don't know. If you look at all these things, why will you not be angry? If you are not angry, it means you don't have the love of the people now. People will say, why did Jonathan not sign that confab before he left? Even this platform, if you guys know the pressure, Naija Watch didn't tell me. I've never had any private communication with him. But I don't need any person to tell me. I see his body language. I know the guy will be in enormous pressure not to do certain things. And if Nigeria Watch is not the kind of guy he is, he will just collect this money from these people and be
It's true.
playing with all of us. He will be playing with all of us there. So if at this level there can be that level of pressure, do you know the level of pressure that Jonathan faced? And as at that time, he had few, and he was also deceived. A lot of guys told him that, look, this comfort, don't worry. If you sign it now, it will cost you your second term. Don't worry, we are going to
True.
ensure that you win the second term, so that immediately you win it, you sign it. But the information on that confab was beyond Jonathan.
But I
Even
mean,
this,
what you just said now, Mr. Chris, I mean, it's so touching because honestly, maybe if he has signed it, not even minding his second term, we
It's
won't be where
true.
we are today.
Probably.
yes,
Should he have signed it?
see, that is
See,
that is
Mr. Chris, Mr.
Yeah.
Chris, to add this to what you are saying, you see, most of us think that if anybody sign a bill, oh, the North will just come, carry ammo tank, delete everybody. No be so, they're not going to do anything.
It's true.
If
that
the
is
president, commander-in-chief sign that bill, they no go fit do nothing.
But see, I understand what you are saying, but if you look at Jonathan is a Democrat. Now, a man can tell you, see, the difference between Jonathan and Peter Obi have one thing in common. Jonathan said his ambition does not worth the red oil of a Nigerian. The same with Peter Obi. You think Buhari and Tinubu, they care about that? You know how many people were playing in the election?
they don't.
They don't care. So
No, see,
They don't.
hold on, sir. So for me, I will not entirely blame Jonathan because one is careful about the life of the Nigerians. It's so important to him. You know how many people were quiet for Buhari? How many people were quiet, and the guy, I mean, so for me, I will not entirely blame Jonathan.
See,
if he has
that
signed it, maybe would have been saved by now from this.
Oga, that statement that Jonathan made, that every life is not this, that statement is a lily finger statement. It's a statement. Wait. I'll explain. You see, the situation, Jonathan knew the situation of Nigeria. He knew that if we push this country further, what we are having now is going to be the dilemma. He knew the future. So when you come out to say in a nation where you want to profile the destiny of the nation that is going to be like bread and honey, it's never been, my brother. There's no nation.
Okay, Mr. Chris, let me say this.
Let me round up.
You know what happened in OD, Obasanjo?
Yeah, Obasanjo.
You thought Obasanjo you thought he did good with OD, right?
Obasanjo did wrongly because that does not warrant it at all.
He will not forgive himself now. He will not.
That one na military police, nothing concerned with that one. Now the nation itself will they talk.
So if I just want to quickly round up, you see this thing we are talking about Jonathan today. If many people, especially from the south, if they get to that power, they are going to repeat Jonathan's mistake.
I beg, I want to hear Madam Luke voice, so I never let Madam Luke talk since so.
Uganda, may I round up?
Talk now.
No, I
May I round up? Now, now the question when Madam Luke asked, now with the answer.
Now with the answer, so. Now with the answer, so.
You know one Greek carry the book, they clear the book.
I create problem for us.
I'm reading. I've come to find out that the confab spent 10 billion and it took 4 months.
Now you don't see it now.
I'm following. I'm just looking. I'm just listening.
I want to conclude with this now. See, guys, if many people from the southeast, southwest, if they get to power, they will repeat the same mistake of Jonathan, in the sense that they don't see Nigeria for what Nigeria actually is. They feel that Nigeria is for everybody. We are one, we are the same. No, it is a big fat no. It's a fallacy. That was what Jonathan did. He was trying to bring everybody together.
Absolutely not, Dr. Chris. He was a dunce. That
No,
is why
he's
you put people who don't
yeah.
have
I'm coming.
brains.
I'm coming there.
Okay.
I'm
Oga
coming
Jonathan,
there.
Oga Chris,
Wait.
land.
Yeah, I'm coming there. You see, in key positions, the reason I want to say that is this: even in key positions, he was supposed to put his trusted allies, for example, the head of INEC and all those high-ranking positions. But he didn't. But I was glad when they interviewed him last year. He said it with his mouth in the interview that one of the mistakes he made was that he didn't have somebody, his personal person, as the head of INEC. He said that's what majority of African leaders do across the continent. Now, Jonathan was so naive to think that we are all one. No, sir, we are not. As long as the way this country is structured, people that get to power, they always think regionally first. They always think about themselves first. They always think about their survival first before they start talking about this one Nigerian thing. Because the reason I'm saying it, if you see people trying to protect their interests, project their views and aspirations, but some people want to tell them that no, it's Nigeria. The way it is structured, brothers and sisters, it is not structured for people that are Democrats, because the enabling law, the enabling environment, they are not there to ensure that democracy is deepened. No, the way it is structured, it is still structured along the line of strong men and not strong institutions. And the strong men, they will continue holding sway. That is why Buhari was able to hold sway for that 8 years. And that is what's also keeping, what was his name, Agbadoma going now. But any weak person that believes in institutional administration without actually strengthening those institutions is going to fail woefully, like Jonathan. And guys, we must all remember that the problem of Nigeria, I'll keep saying this, it is not your typical person in the south, or let me just say from the southwest, from the southeast, from the south, even from the north. It is not your typical, but there is a subset of people in this country that will never want to play second fiddle to anybody. They are always there. They are there in the north. You can imagine we keep saying that the North has been ruling Nigeria for how long, but in that North, who are the people ruling? One tribe. One
Thank you.
tribe.
Thank you very much.
One tribe. They've been the people ruling.
Somebody's
cannot tell
making
me that
noise.
this
Somebody
same
making
tribe,
noise.
Noise
this
is
same
coming
tribe,
from
they are
somebody.
just
Where's
like
the noise coming from?
this same tribe, they are just like about 8 or 9 million in the whole of the North, and they have 13 governors. And not just one term. They do one term. They keep in Adamawa, they've been there. In Sokoto, they've been there. Are there no other people there? These are the only people that don't want to live with you. They don't want to share power with anybody. But if you look, but the only problem is that we just generalize, not. But trust me, guys, the typical Hausa man is the most accommodating man you can ever find in Nigeria.
Exactly.
More accommodating than any other person. I've lived with them. I lived in the north. Is it the baggy people? The baggy people that you push to the wall, they will dig hole and start going instead of pushing back. These people are so peaceful, so trustworthy. But those subset of 9 million people, they are the people causing the whole problem all over the country. So if we are talking about the north, I feel so bad because it's kind of unfair. We really have to strike that balance. If we can separate that subset out, if you remove those people, you see that every problem in this country will just go down. How can you tell me somebody from that subset just finished doing 8 years, then another person is coming out from that place again? He has the audacity, and they are in the head of INEC, the head of police, the head of this, the head of that. You just finished ruling for 8 years, then another of your person is coming out again. What manner of audacity? No other tribe would try that in Nigeria.
In fact, Mr. Chris,
agitations.
Mr. Chris,
Things.
if this guy Atiku, for me, if he was not selfish, and one comment he even made during the campaign is that it is through him that an able person will become a president. That's the highest level of irresponsibility.
Yes.
Excuse me.
Eh?
He was stating the facts.
No. There's no fact in that. No,
No,
you can't
there's
say
a
that.
fact in
There's
that.
no,
Because
there,
let
no,
me tell you
there's
why.
no, there's no
Let me
part
tell
of
you why.
that. What's the
Elijah,
reason?
Let me tell you why. Atiku was going to make sure that power goes to the south east. That was his aim. And the same way Tinubu used Buhari to get to where he was going, that was where Obi would have used Atiku to get to where he was going. That was the only way I could have seen it. I believed it.
So for me, I agree with Madam Luke because Atiku already know, and I believe Atiku was also part of that table, that satanic table where the photo can say Igbo person can never rule. So, but Atiku wants to go through the back door to make sure it happens.
Yes, and he was for restructuring from the get-go. He was for restructuring.
Okay, now.
Okay. Go ahead.
Can I say something?
Let me conclude, please. Let me conclude.
Madam, hold on. What Madam Luke said just now is what the Nigerian problem is, and I can believe it. Now, Tinubu is in government. This rumor of coup, is being. I'm so sure the Northerners are the one pushing for it.
Of course.
Hello.
And it will take us back to the Babangida days.
Exactly.
Can I say something? Okay, Jonathan, go ahead.
Okay, please let me just add this.
Black Panther, please. 1 minute. 1 minute, Black Panther. Can I round up?
Okay.
Okay. Now let's work on the premise. Let me go with Madam Luke and Niger Watch that they sat down somewhere and said that no Southeasterners can be able to be the president. You see, that's exactly the point. That is what we are saying, that there is an orchestration of evil against the Southeast, and nobody expects these people to keep quiet without talking. They have to keep talking. They have to keep agitating anyhow they can do it. It is no longer it is no longer a secret. It's just something that everybody knows. These people, they've tried everything. They've come with diplomacy. You've asked them to take part in the election. They did everything possible, but you have said no, that they have to remain second-class citizens. It's never going to work. Eventually, they said if you don't give way for peaceful resolution, you'll be forced to face a violent change. I think that's what Agbado Man is facing today. So eventually, we have to agree that these people are marginalized, and whatever they need to do to free themselves from these shackles of marginalization, I think it's in order. Thank you very much.
Hello, let me just add this. I still want to stay on that constitutional conference of 2014, and I still want to maintain that for Jonathan, Goodluck Jonathan himself, he was not ready himself to implement that constitutional conference. First, we all know this present dispensation from 1999 to date. How many of those people that participated in 2014 conference that are still in this government or even in Buhari administration? Many of them. So they themselves did not even believe in the document that they participated, the process at which they are directly involved. They didn't believe, because taking that 2014 conference, taking it to implement it, is literally shooting themselves in the foot. In fact, that conference, it will be difficult for Jonathan to return to win a second term if we implemented that 2014 conference openly, transparently. It will be difficult for him. None of them will be there now. It will have been a different Nigeria, but they are afraid. They are scared to their head. They can't implement a single part of that constitutional conference. If they do, none of them will be there today. Is it devolution of powers that we want to talk about? Is it the sharing of the revenue sharing that we want to talk about, or the resource control? Is it even political party? See, the shenanigan of Mahmoud Yakub last year in 2023 election would not have happened if the Constitutional Conference of 2014 has been implemented. Because we are witnessing what is going on in Edo State. Just take Edo State now. That also will not be there. These their primaries they are doing. The Constitutional Conference took care of that. We won't see that because there will be true internal democracy within the political parties. Godfatherism will have been buried for good. There will be nobody who will raise his head again and say he's a godfather in Nigeria again. You see, so I don't think they have the guts. I don't think this political group, I don't want to call them elites. I don't think this political gang, I don't think they have the guts to implement the Constitutional Conference of 2014. And I think until we have a leader or someone or a group of people that are ready to do that, it will be very difficult for us. Whichever way we want to spin it, we want to slice it, we will come back. We have to come back to that Constitutional Conference and be true about it. Be true about it to really implement it. Because they are even scared themselves to even go there. They dare not go there. Because if they go there, none of them will even be on the Senate right now. Because that thing will take care of all of them to get them all out. They will be jobless, literally jobless, if they implement the 2014 Constitutional Conference. You see, because it took care of everything we're talking about, the way the marginalization, how they are changing the Southeasterners and in fact the Middle Belters, their resources that is being taken away, being siphoned. It took care of everything. That's the beauty of that document. And for me, I want to be fair and I want to be balanced. That Jonathan himself was not ready to implement that. And his failure to do that actually brought his demise himself.
Thank you,
gave them. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Jonathan. Let me just say this thing so that we'll be well informed, because all these things we are saying, sometimes it baffles me. Some things we are saying. You see, the way Nigeria, we should understand the way Nigeria is structured. Nigeria is on its knee begging the Northern Caliphate to transfer powers to the South. Anybody going for presidency will have to go to the rigging machine in the North. And the rigging machine in the North will tell you the template that you need to follow for you to get to power. There's one thing we all should know. There is no Nigerian leader that are ready to stake his neck for the nation called Nigeria. And there's one thing we all should know. All the politicians in Nigeria presently are liars. Let me say one thing. When Jonathan got, when we lost his Oga, the great Yaradua, they did not want to give Jonathan power. Why? Because Jonathan will not agree with the kind of template they have given Yaradua. But he was part of it. But if you look at it, he will not agree. But because of greed and selfishness, Jonathan went there and signed it. You see, this is the way it is. Look at Agbado now. Agbado said one thing. I am not ready to stake my neck on security matters in the North. That is all the breed of leadership we have. Nobody is ready to make Nigeria a great country. Everybody wants to get to power, to be called the president. Whatever they have there, they will do. Now, how many Nigerian president has come forward? You said, this man, what's his name? The man that stole all the money in Nigeria during the Obasanjo regime. A corrupt entity, a bundle of corruption. You think he will hand over to the Southeast? Forget that thing at the top. Forget. It will never happen. They are so deceptive. Can you imagine a man sold the national monument of Nigeria at the expense of his Oga? Oga did not know what he was doing until when his Oga knew. He said that man, if there's a, I want to paraphrase, if there's a serpent and the vice president is here, he will choose a serpent. You people don't understand what he said.
Obasanjo, just hold your thought. Obasanjo said, if I had, you know, they asked Obasanjo this. I think Naija Watch, you search for the tape video. They said, what is the problem with you and your vice when you were in power? Obasanjo said, no, there's nothing personal. But I called Atiku to come and join me. He won the governorship nomination for our party, PDP, in Adamawa. So I told him, leave it, come and join me. He said, within a couple of months, I placed him in charge of a privatization we want to do to free the economy. Within a couple of months, he showed his true self. In fact, if I to support Atiku for presidency, with all that I know about him, God will punish me. Obasanjo said it. It's not. It's
look at who is talking. Lele.
You can see from that statement, a thief is calling a other thief.
Can you imagine?
Thief.
Can you imagine?
No. I want to juxtapose it with what we have been saying here since that. This man know the real problem of the East. If he had gotten the power, he would have handed over to the East. Then our trouble will still continue because none of them want to restructure Nigeria. It's fake.
It's fake.
None of them. That was why Obi opted out.
I believe that. I believe that because if the children want to do it, but like I will go back to what Sam was saying earlier. 2014, bring it out. Yes. The document is prepared already for you. But I look to someone is 10 billion they spend on that. Bring it. It's just a waste as it sits right now. That document is a waste until it is visited.
Until visited. Okay.
Give us a mandate. Have you ever heard any of them talk about what we are saying now? That confirm. Have you ever heard any of them?
No.
Especially
they will not say it.
Especially as you have a southerner in power. You would think. I think there was a little bit of time. They said they're going to pass a Senate bill to create 3 more states for the Southwest. Did anybody see that?
No, it cannot be Southwest, man.
Oh yes.
They can't even create any state now.
I heard it, not East.
It's not Northeast, it's Southwest. I'm bringing it up.
They can all those things no go work. They can't create any state now.
How can they stay? Maybe three more states to different zones. Maybe Southeast will get this one, but it cannot just be You can't just go and.
If any part of the country have a state, it will increase the senators for North. So where are we going to?
See, there's something I was doing some arithmetic, so may not pay attention. Tell you this kind of federation we are practicing. The whole of Niger Delta has 55 members of House of Reps. Northwest has 92. So how are you gonna compete? Southeast has 43, the lowest. North Central is 49. Southwest 71. Which other one? So ordinary not the ordinary. Kano 24, Kaduna 16. That don't give you 40. Then plus Katsina 15. That gives you 55. So 3 states of Katsina, Kano, and Kaduna. It don't nullify the whole of Niger Delta. 55. You see, 3 states only has nullified 6 from down south.
Can you imagine that?
Now listen. If you bring Kano and Kaduna, you don't get 40. If you just add small KB join them, you don't get 48. That one don't nullify Southeast. Southeast of 5 states. Do you see it? So how can you practice federation? That's why Madam Ankyo Briggs, whenever I discuss it, he go say, he said they will tell them, Niger Delta, present your bill. You can lobby. He said, how can a Niger Delta with 55 go the lobbyists? Ordinary Kano, Kaduna, and Katsina don't nullify the whole of
Okay.
South.
Now look at the link I posted there. That is up for February the 13th, right there. Reps to consider creation of 3 new states in the Southwest. There you go.
Okay, let me see it. But
He
that
no
is,
go work. The money no
I
day
know,
now. He no go work. Oh. Where you want to see the money?
Emilio Coin is in power now. What do you mean? What do you think he cannot do?
No, where you
Okay,
are in a debt. How are those states going to function with penniless state?
No, you keep borrowing. You keep borrowing. You are going to keep borrowing.
That one cannot work.
The
No go
southwest
work.
zone of
Make
the
una dey
country
look
could
am.
have
I no
3
go
more
work.
additional states if a proposal is say through. The proposal is being sponsored by the lawmaker representing Oboku Oriade Federal Constituency of Osun State.
But the
Oluwaloke.
same Senate is
the suggested
proposing parliamentary
see,
system of government.
the
The same Senate.
suggested legislation aims to establish separate states, namely Okeogun, Ijebu, and Ife-Ijesha.
Oh.
Ife-Ijesha. So a bill named a bill for an action to modify the Constitution of Federal Republic of Nigeria stated. Well, the thing, okay, which paper? I said Daily Post. February 13th. It's been over a week now. I didn't hear it. Why come in?
Small now.
That bill no go anywhere with the problem we have. We're gonna look at now.
Dear.
People the hungry are talking about creation of state. How will the state function? Where will you see the money?
Or maybe this might be a strategy to fly kite so that many people think say then they give this. It might be to fly kite, but actually because I feel if to say now one state, somebody might say they agitate, but how can you say 3? So making them 9 states now, isn't it? Even a Northwest will get 7, will they say 2 more? So Southwest to get 9.
No, but that's the goal now. They want to overpower. They want to get power so that there'll be more than the North. That's the power.
How? Don't you see the calculation that CN just give? How you want to overpower them with 3 states?
With 3 more. No, this is only.
How many hours of threat you put there?
If you combine Northeast and Northwest, that will give you. This is 148.
They hear that figure now.
One get 92, one get 48. So if you combine for 92 and 48, it gives you. This is 100, isn't it? 148 now.
148. Yes? How many is from the south? Calculate the south too.
No, sorry, 140, not 148, 140. So this is the northeast and northwest too. Now they give 140.
Only two sections, northeast, northwest.
Now they give. Okay, let's see southeast and south. where will they make noise pass? Southeast and south means 43 plus 55. You never reach 100. That is 98.
98 too. 98 for two side though.
2 side for the south. So if you put southwest, it becomes maybe 98.
And then you don't think that for you to get your own piece of the presidential pie, you have to piggyback.
That is not the problem. We should change the system of government.
Okay. Let me.
We're not going to change it now. Before you change it, what you going to do?
Madam Luke, let me concede. Let me assume it without conceding. Shebi they will read it as a bill in the House of Reps or House of Senate. Other sections cannot keep quiet now.
Now you are talking. The same way he has been going with money. See, there is nothing Tinubu has done that he hasn't bribed. If he wants to do it, he will bribe his way through.
Okay, let me give you this information now. 50-something, I don't know the number, 50-something senators have drafted a bill.
No. Okay, senators. Okay, continue.
They drafted a bill to change the system of government we are practicing right now. That they want to have a single house rather than 2 houses.
Which system of government are we practicing, Biko?
Federalism at the talk, not federal at the talk. They want to go back to 1963 version. That we can no longer fund 2 houses because of the amount of debt and because of there is no development in the country with this kind of system, where about 300 or 200 senators will be holding the nation hostage.
There's only 109 senators.
109. Yeah, thank you. You got it. Yeah. So let us pray they can push it, because we need that kind of pushing. We are tired of this system of government where you keep on creating states that don't even have anything to do
My
with our
question
problem.
is that how did we sit back and allow them to create this kind of nonsense?
We don't have not the military. Now military do am now.
It was under military. It was
Oh my
under
God.
military. That is the
And
truth.
Babangida and the rest.
I beg. Make her answer, Madam Luke. Madam Luke, you feel ask the question again.
I said, what were we doing? Obasanjo was there. Jonathan was there. What were we doing when this thing came to overcome us like this?
Yeah, because I've told you before. I've said it before. It is this idea from the south, from the southern part of the country. We act like, oh, we have to carry everybody along. And if people from our side are talking, we say you are too violent, calm down. Whereas this is exactly what these people believe on. They achieve all these things by violence. If you want to talk, it is we that will tell ourselves to calm down. It is we. Those people, they come with misrepresentation of facts and figures. That is exactly what they do. It's either you accept it or by force. Then the few amongst us that are able to speak up, we tell them to calm down. That's just it, nothing more.
So that they can collect money from the north.
Nothing more.
You see this. You see these three state thing that they are peddling all over the place. When it gets to the floor, at the end of the day, they will add one to southeast, add one to south, add maybe
one to the north. They go add one to north,
and all those that will be beneficiaries, they are the one that Mr. Chris was, talking about. They will say people should calm down because they are the beneficiary. They are those that will benefit.
Have we solved the problem?
I will not solve the problem. So I hope they are not. They are not. They don't even dare. They are not even thinking of it. That this. Let me just take it that this thing is not real. This three-state thing is not even real. Because if they push this one, is deadly.
We are going. Look, if they push this thing, if you get to this, if the rep cannot push it back, if you get to the Senate, it will be approved. You see, those gullible people there, the more look, we should get this. The more you create state, the more it's going to be very difficult for us to turn the table by sitting on a round table. Because you're having a what? You're having a bogus and a large house now. How do we cope with that kind of a thing? The one we have now, we are still finding it very difficult. 200 senators from that side. Then they manage 100 and something. We have not been able to cope. They want to add more to the north so that it will virtually impossible. Now, Madam Luke ask a question. Madam Luke, let me tell you one thing. We have problem in the south. The problem we have in the south is that we don't really have a good understanding of what the north are really doing. Rather, we take advantage and get what they want inside there and leave the rest out to suffer. That's why they tell them that no talk too much. You two rascals. Cool down. More talk, more jojo. It's a lie. They want to find a way to get what they want, an oil block and some other incentive the north will bring to the table, so that they know that we are most certainly that they are throat too long. They know they cooperate. So give the one when throat long pass, give her money, and the bill go die. That go buy. That's all. If we had cooperated in the south, the north don't like cooperation. They don't like cooperation of the south. If the south cooperate, we will bring Nigeria to a standstill, and they will come to a round table and we'll talk. That is all. No matter how many senators you have, if the south come together.
And again,
see, not only the south, though, not the entire south.
If I can just make this statement.
Yeah.
If I can just make this statement, please.
All right.
Picking up from where what Black Panther was trying to say, because the people from the south, they don't want us to know ourselves. Guys, you don't know that the hatred why Nnamdi Kanu must be stopped. The hatred was that Nnamdi Kanu opened the eyes of everybody of what these northern oligarchs, what they were up to. And that is what infuriated them. And that is the secret, that weapon they use in holding everybody back. Nnamdi Kanu was revealing the secret back to back. So that is one of the very reasons why they were annoyed with the guy, why they vowed that that guy must be stopped. It has nothing to do with treasonable, whatever.
Yeah,
If it had, how come he was able to win all those cases from the lowest court to the Supreme Court? Not one case of treasonable felony could scale through. But the real intention was that enlightenment. That enlightenment, that's what the North is scared of. Because they know that immediately the South unites, it's gone. I don't know the person that raised this issue 2 weeks ago on this platform, that the problem why the North has been having sway is because the Southwest have been working with the North. Just imagine.
Thank you.
Yes, yeah, thank you, my brother.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes,
Let
that
me
is
say
it. That
this.
is it.
Let me
And
say
I
this.
supported that
Let me talk,
position
Mr.
then. See,
Chris.
let's imagine.
Let me say
Wait,
this.
let's
You've been talking.
imagine.
You've been wait now. You have
Wait,
made
let
your
me say
point
this.
now, please.
Wait, let me
Okay.
just say this. Let's imagine that the Southwest, the leaders, the real political leaders in Southwest, Tinubu and co. Let's imagine they worked with Southeast in the last election. Who bombed Mahmoud? Who bombed Mahmoud to rig that election?
Thank you.
Let's assume the Bakar is the Tinubu, the Adeboye is the Oye, all of them.
Let
They
me
worked
add to
with
that.
politicians in the
Please, let
Southeast.
me add to that. See, each region in Nigeria, each, not one or not two or three, just each region is enough to bring Nigeria to stand still. The eastern region of Nigeria alone is enough to bring Nigeria to stand still if they are united. The northerners does not want even within each geopolitical zone to be united. The south alone can bring Nigeria to stand still. Today, the southwest the same, the north central the same. They can bring. See what happened these past few months in December when they went to Plateau to buy them there. If the people of the north central, come together and unite, they can bring Nigeria to stand still. It is so they are afraid to death. They don't want any region to even come together. That's you see this unity.
Jonathan, I
Yeah.
disagree with
Yeah.
you. You know why I
Like,
disagree
that's-
with you? You know why I disagree with you? Let me tell you, history has told us that the North, they've been stretching their hand to the North, to the Southwest, through Awolowo. Awolowo rebuked them. Akintoye rebuked them. But now this crop of new politicians from the Southwest, they've allowed, because you see, when Tinubu was having his own regional party, and with Buhari was having his own regional party, the reason why Buhari could not cross over, Buhari could not cross over because he has no alliance with to cross the Niger, and he was looking for it until Tinubu discovered that for me to get to power, not to do the same mistake Awolowo did, I had to look for somebody in the North, and the person that they love mostly is Buhari. Then Tinubu went and signed an agreement. If they rebuke if the Southwest rebuke them, nothing the North will do. Nothing. They cannot form alliance with the East.
That's what
They cannot form alliance with any other person but the Southwest.
Black Panther, you are still in line with what I said. Okay, what if, just take this hypothetical scenario, what if the West, where Tinubu came from, did not align with Buhari? Did Tinubu work together with the Southeast, or did Tinubu work together with the South? The Southwest alone, one single region, aligned with the North to achieve that satanic coalition that is called the APC today. So that's what I'm saying. One single region if even one single region can call for that 2014 constitutional conference and they stand still, united, one, no election. We are not part of any election. If the Southeast just say we are not participating in any election in Nigeria and they hold their ground, or the South, do you think there will be nothing will move in Nigeria? All
Mr. Jonathan, Jonathan, the Southwest is very key to Nigeria moving forward.
Thank you.
If they don't form alliance with the other part of the South and they break, go meet anybody for North.
Why
the election rig again.
Okay, Black Panther. Why did Yaradua enter into arrangement with the South? Why?
Which Yaradua
election? Yaradua election. Wait. Yaradua election was a normal election of Nigeria. Was like Shagari election.
Which your normal election? The one OBJ did.
It was time for
May we not distort history here. I beg.
Please.
Yaradua election. Yaradua was not on the race. It was Obasanjo that dug out Yaradua and gave him Jonathan and used Maurice Iwu to rig the election. Which kind of alliance Yaradua?
No. I said no normal thing now.
Listen.
Yaradua not even back from Yaradua got from. Yaradua didn't back from.
Listen, see.
It was in the alliance of the West and the North.
Wait. After Yaradua became the president, he entered into this arrangement with the people of South. Of course, we all know he made an arrangement with them because he saw it that if this should continue, that is the beginning of the end of Nigeria. So he made this arrangement with South. That was the creation. That was what led to the creation of the South Commission. That has become a bedrock of corruption today. That is the food they gave them there in the South to keep them quiet.
Exactly.
That was the arrangement.
And that is why Yaradua even said it, that the process that got him there was far from honorable. Now, what I didn't understand was, why did he not shamefully reject it?
What
he cannot reject it because he has an ambition.
Oh. And Obasanjo knew that the man was not well.
Let me say this. I believe mistakes, of course, we all know have been made and whatever. The golden chance, because we all know this permutation. Do you know that the North, even Haruna Goro said it when he came on here. He said they always believe that if they go to the South, if they can get Southwest, give them small to support them, they will give them. He said it here. But what I want now to do is this. The golden opportunity for Southeast, South, and Southwest, including the Middle Belt, to be like this and break Nigeria forever is this 2014 confirm. Bring it out that you want to implement it. Southwest will like it. Southeast will like it. South will like it. That section that won't like it are mainly something like Northwest and Northeast. And if you don't want it, then you go. Then this is the time that we now tell them that is they have to come to the table now to talk about it. This is the only opportunity because do you know why? If maybe Jonathan felt that me doing it, maybe Southwest may not follow. Probably they feel that they want to get rid of him because of Buhari and the Tinubu. After all, it was Southwest that led the protest against petrol subsidy. That gone. But now there is no opportunity for the three zones in the South to come together than this conference. Because I know South will say, good, let's implement it. After all, resource control is there, is for them. Southeast is what they want, to make the center loose so that everybody goes. And then the Southwest now being there, they be talking of true federalism, power devolution, all this. This is the opportunity. Now, the North Central, after all, is North Central, it's not Kwara Kogi. They are more like Southwest. Then if you bring Middle Belt, Benue, they are buying them all the time. So they're always looking for a way. So the real four things will agree. Then those people that say, what would I say they don't agree? No way now. We start to say it. Well, the area that doesn't want, after all, people said if Nigeria has been North separate, South would have advanced more than because there is no way if three zones in the South become one country where we develop fast. Because all this idea of common Fulani herdsmen here will be menaced. I mean, security wouldn't be this the way it is. And the three zones want education. They want advance. No matter the system you put in, they are now the three zones there abroad mainly. So why can't they succeed? So this is the opportunity. I feel so. No matter what, no matter the hunger, this is the opportunity to roll it out. Said we have this thing, we just have to implement this and then devolve power. They now say no, say which like Padebanyo said, which section of it do you not want? Let's know because every this is how to hold them. Because if it goes back to them again, power goes back to them, they put it in the dustbin again. Tell you nothing after all them. So this is the thing. Remember when Tinubu, when Southwest through Tinubu helped Buhari to come to power. The moment they came in, they dumped Tinubu. If you remember, when Rufai was saying, after all, what is the vote from the Southwest? It's not this, this. Even arrogantly, this man that gave interview to Arise was saying, after all, Tinubu, is it not 65% of the vote? Is it not from the Northwest? Arrogantly, this is what he's still talking. He's still looking at them that, after all, we put you there. So the opportunity, the Southwest politicians should think, they now have an ally. If they think East cannot shut it down, South cannot shut it down. So if the Southwest bring it up, the deal is done. The deal, this restructure is done.
The one I want, that thing I want to buy, that's it. That glass, that's the one that is in my head now.
So
that when I'm traveling like this, all those immigration are just looking at them like this. I'm going to buy it now.
Are you saying now?
Black Panther, yes, please.
Ogasiem, are you saying now that it is the Southwest that is holding Nigeria together? That if they decide now,
I'm telling you, as it is now. Yes, yes, Jonathan. At least you follow my analysis.
I have said it many times on this forum. I said Southwest is the greatest link and the weakest link.
See, yes. Do you know why, Jonathan? I know that the election we did, people felt, even I felt that it should have gone to the Southeast. They rigged Tinubu in. The North rigging Tinubu in is not because they love Tinubu. It's just to make sure that the Southeast did not get it. And Tinubu will hold it in trust for them.
Exactly.
So that in trust for them. Now, remember, with what Abiola saw and everything, this true federalism. I know, maybe, like we are saying, if Jonathan had put it in place, but because of the fact that if Jonathan put it in place and restructure, Buhari, it has weakened the North. And without Buhari getting into power, Tinubu cannot get into power because that is the deal. Because we will support you. When you finish, you support us no matter what. That is the deal. So if Jonathan wanted to implement that thing, the idea of shutting it down, the selfishness of Tinubu, maybe personal, not Yoruba this time, we now tell the North, say, look, let us unite and shut it down. Remember, after all, Tambuwa shouldn't have been what is it called? Tambuwa shouldn't have been speaker. It was the position of the Southwest. PDP shares position based on 6 zones. The president to one zone, Jonathan, South, Bayelsa. Vice President, Namadi Sambo, Kaduna State, Northwest. Secretary to the government of the Federation, Pius Anim, Ebonyi State, Southeast. Then Senate President, David Mark, Benue State, North Central. Then Northeast was the person they gave the Northeast, party chairman, somebody Dalhatu from Bauchi State. Then the Southwest, it should have been Speaker, Mulika Akonde. Tinubu went and engineered it, said they don't want, they said they give it to Tambuwa in the hope that they don't compensate North. May want to help them. So how can Northwest get Senate Vice President, Namadi Sambo, Kaduna, and then Sokoto State, Tambuwa? So these are the 6. So this is the time. This is the permutation. It doesn't mean let them not think that Southeast go say, hey, let us punish Tinubu back. No. They won't do that. Southeast won't punish Tinubu based on this. If he brings it out, that is when they will know that. Because if the Southeast and South and the Southwest are coming together, the North cannot rule. They know it. No. They know it. They know. So the only way to do it is bring this thing. Because if you bring it, that document unites the whole South. Now South can never say they don't want a devolve based on 2014 after Jonathan did it.
Exactly.
Southwest is even what they've been looking for, that they want a true federalism so that the revenue from Lagos and all these things stays there. It doesn't go, even VAT. Then Southeast is already asking for let the center be loose so that everybody be on your own. We don't care. When we do it like this, Ben Kogi, which is still
They go join.
Kwara State is mainly Yoruba. So Kogi and Kwara will still support this position. Benue State is easily amenable with Plateau.
Yes.
They will leave them now.
This
is opportunity. This is the opportunity. And they're telling them that confusion, throw it in. Then what you will hear them is that they won't be. They want to divide Nigeria, but it's a lie. It's a lie. They know.
And look at that, Garcia. Look at this. And rather than now, go back to the drawing board.
Yeah.
Unite the Southeast, the South. They are busy burning shops in Lagos. Busy to you. I mean, Nnamdi Kanu is still in jail just because they want to uphold. That is the only way they can assure the North that they are still working together. If they keep doing these things.
But because I know what there is no time the three zones in the South can unite again. This document will be it because it was meant now. There's no way the South we say, thank God, that's what we want. Southeast we say, do it because it weakens the center. Southwest is even what they want to. So this is the time when you put it. The so-called North Central, Kogi and Kwara, we go with Southwest. Kogi is having a Yoruba major, maybe at least a substantial. Then Kwara is having Yoruba majority. There we go.
My concern, Dr. CM, my concern with that position is that how sure are you that the Southeast and the South will even be united amongst themselves? That there will be no serious. How do you? I don't know the analysis behind that they will stand together.
Why? Do you know why? It is not a case of because they are not contesting. This is not a case of somebody from South is coming saying, may wanna vote for me and from South go the campaign for Southeast, or somebody from Southeast is going to campaign. What is uniting is the document. They will just say 2014 confab should be debated. Southeast will say yes. South will say yes. Southwest, where they bring them now, yes. What remains again? That is just the thing. I'm telling you because South cooperating with Southeast is not doing Southeast a favor. It's because of this 2014 conference, we favor the resource control. Southeast has already wanted, let there be loose, let the center be loose, so that we can easily feel free that there are certain things we can do ourselves. Southwest is even what they had wanted. That since Nadeko, through federalism, they want a fiscal, so many. And this is the opportunity now. That's all. So the only people opposing it, even without presenting it, we all know that the people opposing it is mainly Northwest and Northeast. That's all. Maybe North Central, the Adamawa area may, because of some, yes, Adamawa area or small Taraba. But the North Central of six states, Kwara and Kogi will also be out because there's no way people, Yorubas in Kwara, and then maybe in Kogi cannot support the opinion of the Southwest. The thing is done. The deal is done. And they know it.
They're anti-North anyway.
And that is why Buhari never wanted to touch it. That is
why Mr. CN, you've nailed it. If we bring it to a vote,
yes,
I think we are going to have majority.
Okay, Jonathan, all of us here, let's just say, is anybody here opposing it? Are we not Southeast, South, and then Southwest? Nobody's opposing it now. Straight.
Even the middle belt, we will be shouting, let's do it.
Yes,
because it will also favor them. Now, it will favor. So it's only because, Jonathan, the thing is that if you do not have the intention, for instance, the Southwest, the Yoruba, they don't have the intention to to lord it over something like the Northwest. Even if they don't believe that, the Yoruba doesn't believe that maybe Namigo, they choose what happens in the Northeast. But the tension or the thing about the Fulani of the Northwest, where they dominate, they always feel that they want to determine Nigeria belongs to them. Yoruba does not. I've never had any Yoruba person tell me Yoruba must control and we get Nigeria. You haven't had it. I've not.
And
I've
guess
never
what?
had it. I've never had it.
Guess what? The Hausas are not going to be there too. They're not because they don't even want that Fulani business up there.
That is the thing. So if there is what they call the joker now, they just bring it out. That is what we. If you don't like Ayo Adebanjo just said, Which section don't you like? Then you say. By that time, we started the debate, which is what they don't want. We started the debate because the whole thing they did, you can't say you don't love anyone. Oh yeah, we put this one, we push it to this thing for debate. This one we are doing it. This one before you know it, the power go down there. Okay, do you know? Let me tell you one thing. One advantage now. We're already in Monday 26th. Then we commission power plant in Abia because they've now made it that any state can generate electricity. Before it wasn't like this. You see the advantage now. State can, federal can. Before it wasn't, everything was federal controlled. So are you telling me that if they commission that of Abia, 9 local government will go off the national grid? Aba industrial cluster will now be coming up. You think so Ogun State no go just keep quiet with Agbara waiting there? Ogun State can't keep quiet. If not today, tomorrow, they will start discussing.
Mr. CN, I have one so I will call it fear. Will they not sabotage the gas that is coming from NLG? These northern people.
Which LNG? Which?
Yeah, the gas that is coming from LNG now, that's in Port Harcourt and Bayelsa. Will they not sabotage it?
Against for which is it? Where
is
the
referring
gas?
to the plant, to the plant.
You know they are in charge of NNPC now.
No, the plant, this thing. I didn't even know that the gas in Abia is using.
Exactly, the gas is coming from Abia.
Do you know it's called Owaza? Tomorrow you go see the
from
details.
Abia State.
See, I was telling
which gas be that? Which gas?
Indigenous gas. Abia State.
Indigenous gas. Abia State has gas. Yeah, I didn't know.
Oh, the federal government allowed them to till it themselves.
How bad? That is what that is the meaning of the gas plant now. You can generate electricity.
It's Abia. Everything is from Abia. Even the machinery, everything is from Abia.
Do you know why? Do you know this thing? This electricity. Just Jonathan, so you see the advantage of devolution. Do you know that Lagos should use ocean and Atlantic to do hydro on their own? Why I'm saying this is that in 2014, Brazil hosted World Cup. 2016, they have to host the Olympics. When they gave them this thing, they feel that Rio de Janeiro will host 2016, but 2014 World Cup is all over Brazil. So they felt that the power supply to the Olympic Village and everything, that they need to upgrade their power supply system. So they thought of using hydro. Say, but if they are to use hydro, where are they going to site it? Do they move the people from the favela near the ocean, move them to a new place and they sort of rehouse them and use that place? Or do they allow them and go somewhere that is far away from a little bit of Rio de Janeiro, then go there and set up this thing and then transmit it to where they want it? They check the one that is economically viable. They found out that no need rehousing people because there may be human rights or be all this, you are taking us out, so they leave them. Brazil, if you watch the film, hydro.
Mr. CN, you have not. I'm still confused about the gas.
Because
it's the natural resources.
The gas is in Abia. It is in their. It is their own.
Black Panther. We have more gas in Nigeria than the oil.
No. I'm trying to see. Are they giving autonomy to the state to exploit gas and use it?
Commissioned.
It's already.
The gas pipeline they talk. I mean the natural gas.
I know the gas. The gas powering the thing is built there. That is what they are using. So you can't use it.
So you can. That means Abia is in charge of their own resources.
Abia is in charge of the gas powering the
because look, you people are missing. The gas is owned by Nigeria. That's what I'm telling you. See, how are they going to annex the gas and say it is owned by them? Because the law states it now.
See, okay, let me say, this thing they are commissioning today, it wasn't built overnight. Though this governor will take the credit because he's commissioning it. This was built even before this Professor Batenaji became a minister. But what happened was, to put gas to it, Nigerian government refused. Say it has to be because power generation is from the federal. So now that they give him, because that is the resource for the thing, and he's generating it, you have to use it. Not that you pay tax to the federal or whatever.
You can now generate. You can now source. You cannot source for gas from your own land. Then you paying.
Yes, you
Okay,
can.
okay. Now I understand it too,
Yeah,
because if
yeah,
any
yeah.
while I go come out now.
That makes sense, because even the federal government can
Yes.
even be taking a little chunk of it too. They can say they want to be taking 1% in form
No,
of
yes.
taxes.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. You know, that's
It
why they
brings
are
it brings
commissioning
taxes
it.
to the federal.
Yes. Because do you know why I'm saying this? You see, just to let you know, see, you see devolution, because they just allow every state. You know, before you can't generate. So it's only if everything is federal. So now that state can generate, I'm telling you, Atlantic Ocean or even Okitipupa
Yeah,
area of Ondo, they will think of how to use, because it's water now. This
yeah,
hydro
yeah. You know
on the Atlantic, like Brazil, like Rio de
yeah,
Janeiro in Brazil. It's Atlantic. Yes, please.
this issue was one of the things Tinubu had issues with Obasanjo during his tenure, not being able to generate their own power in Lagos State.
Yeah.
And that's why, as he got into government, this was one of the first deals he tried to just get off and let
Yes.
people just generate their power by themselves,
Yes.
which Delta State still also has that option too, because it's
Yes.
just doing gas planning for nothing.
Yes.
So if this guy can, once he's commissioned tomorrow, other states will follow.
That is what I'm saying. And is Tinubu going to? It's Tinubu that is going to commission it.
Edo
It's him.
State, where we did, the one who get you, how far?
See, you know, until you know why the Northwest, the Fulani are against devolution. Yes. Until you know why
Abeg,
they're against devolution. Yeah, who is
may I
speaking?
talk small, abeg?
Okay.
Black Panther, you be ask questions say Edo State how far. Obaseki be try for that area, to be honest.
Yeah,
Although
I
it's
know
not,
say try. I know
no
that's
be
why they
my
ask
fan.
question now.
He's not my fan at all. I'm not his fan. I'm not his fan in any way, but he be tried there. Even this what do they call them? This private refinery, the guy be try. I think 350,000 barrel per day or whatever. But I know just
But that
get
one don't
enough.
start. That one don't start because I hear
He
say they
don't
stop
start.
him.
The problem with the guy be say he's too. He too they cover things. He just they do things on its own, you know. So people are not really knowing what he's doing. But in general, I'm not his fan. But in the area of that private refinery and electricity, he's trying. There's this Osiomo power plant, you know, that he has invested in also. But I don't know. He has tried in those two aspects. But in all sincerity, I don't like his style at all. That's just that. And Madam, look, you just destroyed Yaradua. In all honesty, you know, the I've never, you see, Nigeria Watch keep saying something that we all keep learning every day. There's something Madam Luke just said today. See, all this while I've been one person that has been defending Yaradua. I've been calling him a good man. But Madam Luke said something now that just weakened my
Go
spirit. He
ahead now.
said,
I got Chris and the liar talk.
no, I just
Exactly.
have been examining that word since. And I said, why didn't I look at it like this since?
Which
This
word be
man
that?
came out that his election was flawed. It
Okay,
was
oh yeah.
flawed.
It
So
was flawed, yeah.
if your election was flawed, why did you not cancel the election?
Exactly.
Why did you
Exactly.
enjoy the largest?
There was an interview. Let me just help you out.
How can you cancel it?
There was an interview I watched.
How will he
There
shoot
was an
himself
interview
in
I
the
watched about
Okay.
discussing
No,
all
he
the
could have
gains.
done something about it.
Please wait. Let me help
Okay.
you out here. There was an interview I
Okay.
watched Obasanjo speak about his government, why he was going, and the reason why he trusted Yaradua. He said the money at that point they had already cancelled Nigeria's debt. One, it was obvious that if he continued, the Nigeria would be in a good place, and he couldn't run for third term. Of all the governors he wanted to hand over to, Yaradua was the only governor that was not owing salaries, was not having any debt, which I witnessed. I was in that state at that period. His government was good, but only health. The health issue was the problem Yaradua had. If not, Nigeria won't be where we are today because all the gains Obasanjo got from our debt cancellation and all that.
Yes.
By now, we should be gaining, and then the dollar they raised and kept in foreign accounts, they would have used it to do something good for the country. But of course, God didn't spare his life. Let me say, God, just nature took him away. If not, we will not have bandits having to reap from what Obasanjo has already created down before for us already. Because the governors took all the oil revenue, they ate it. Now there's no money anywhere. So I can still say Obasanjo helped, Yaradua helped, but his health would not keep him for long.
Yeah, just to add to that, for me, in all fairness to Yaradua, you know, he tried, and he said something, but I cannot really judge him whether he will have seen it through, because he wasn't the owner of life. God took him, so I can't really say whether he will have seen that policy through. He talked about land. That is one area of devolution of powers. He really wanted to do it even before 2014, and he said that all the land in Nigeria belongs to Nigerian people, and every land and it was about to be, whether they are doing it or not, we cannot say. It's only God that will tell us that. But whether he will have seen it through, we don't know. He wanted to send a bill to the National Assembly where the idea of federal land, state land, he will take it off, so that that poor man in the village, his land belongs to him. Nothing like federal lands again. And that singular act will have set up or created millions, if not thousands, hundreds of thousands of Nigerians becoming billionaires and millionaires overnight, just by that singular law alone. But and Nigeria will have been a different country today. So I give it to him for that. But here we are.
Mr. Jonathan,
yeah.
did you hear the information that Qatar refused Agbado visit?
Yeah. It's official.
They have reneged it. They said now Qatar changed their mind, and the visit is going to go on.
That one are really diplomacy, backdoor diplomacy. Because
in less than 24 hours, they went back and said, "Oh no," because the embarrassment was too much. So they had to do something about that. So Ananuga came out and said that was misinformation and that the meeting was going to go on as planned.
I never hear that. I never hear from Qatar. Or they never make any information, any talk about that. It's coming from Nigeria, but we never hear from Qatar.
Of course.
To be honest with you, I'm now convinced that why Nigeria is stagnating is because of the northern part of Nigeria. That is why the country is stagnating seriously.
Wait a minute, Augustine, were you ever in doubt?
No, it is that because you have to. I know.
No. This is surprise coming from you.
No. I said why I say convinced is that this power plant at Abia, because of that devolution, only power alone. Now come and see what it will be. And do you know how the knock-on effect? Somebody is writing it here. You can now see that maybe I will be surprised if the Southwest, like Lagos, cannot go down to Brazil, study the hydro they built to host the Olympics in 2016, come and replicate it in the Atlantic, because that is free.
Well, guess what? Now we have been through this before.
Exactly.
Even Mr. CM educated us when all those programs were going on. When Buhari cancelled everything and said, "Where now they go?" So push everybody back.
I will ask Jonathan. I mean, Jonathan should know this now, because if there's a collective pay, Jack Onde wanted to do metro line. All this train where then they celebrate Sanwo-Olu, 1981, 82, 83.
He had a contract with the French company.
A contract signed though. Buhari came in, said they are developing too fast, stopped it. Do you know what happened? The Lagos State, they paid money for doing nothing because they defaulted. They still collect their money.
Can you imagine?
Buhari not devil for long.
You see, and mind you, that metro line project is not federal. It's a state affair. Yet we use federal this thing.
But such a man can build a rail from Nigeria to Niger, right?
Yes,
on what is the economic impact of that rail? So that during election, it can be easy for them to smuggle people in.
Yes.
And then smuggle them out.
Smuggle them out so that they can. So you see where Lagos State, Because if Jakonde has succeeded in doing that, there is no way it cannot be replicated by now. Some places could have tried it, or even Yaba to Marina wanted to start. It could have gone from maybe from Yaba again to Ikeja, anywhere, because people will now say, oh, if you're in Lagos now traveling, because Jakonde want to make it that if you want to, those working in the island, find your way to Yaba, you enter metro line straight to Marina, it discharge you, you start going to VI to anywhere,
Yeah.
just to ease
See
transport. Yes.
that
Yes.
issue. That's one of the issues we have with accommodation in Lagos. That's why rent went up because
It went
you
up
have
now.
to live very close to where you stay.
Exactly.
Assuming
Went
you are
to
working in the island and you have transport that can take you from Ikorodu in
yes.
30 minutes to island, you will not have issues of rent going up. Same thing is happening in Abuja already.
And all those Ikorodu outside this thing. In fact, do you know one thing? There is no way if they do it Lagos to Marina. You know, money go they come now. At Yaba to Marina. Before you know, they say, okay, let them take it from Yabana to Maitu to Badagry side. Because they will be taking it within 30 years. Different areas in
Even
Lagos would have opened,
Ogun
would
State
have
will benefit.
uh
Ogun State will benefit.
Ogun's it will, you see
Ogun State
that
will benefit.
okay. Then why didn't a leader who came in? You could have followed it up. At most, you go and replicate it in Kaduna or Kano, but you stopped it. Just wickedness, and then you
Now,
paid.
yeah,
So
let me give you an example again. You see all these our governors, how wicked it could be. While I was in Nigeria, I was going from Delta State to going to Lagos, and I stayed in Ikorodu. There is a road you branch off from that Benin road
mhm,
before I think what's it called, Chagamu,
uh,
as in Ijebu Ode.
okay. Oh yeah, yes. On your way to
The
yes, I
governor
know. I
of
know.
that state
Uh,
was developing that road.
yeah,
When you drive the Ogun State lane, you
yeah.
enjoy your journey. Once you enter Lagos State, it's an error. What
Mhm.
is the wrong with if the two states
No,
agree to do a road that will
because
bypass the
Tinubu is
first
in charge.
state?
No, if you remember, I said the moment they commission this idea, I won't be surprised. Though. Ogun State is for a forward-looking state. I know them, sure. I know. They have a Agbara industrial base. That a lot of industries live. These things are there. So Ogun State, I know, will do something like this before long. Even if for anything, because of the industrial base, because Peter Obi came to Anambra, he brought a Sab Miller from South Africa, the biggest, largest beer manufacturing brewery in the world. So they started one at Onisha. Do you know that when Peter Obi is leaving, is it that who is the last governor of before this man came? The bigger one in the one bigger than the one in Anambra is in Ogun State. The governor came, negotiated with them again, and took some. So what Nigeria needs is decentralized. If we put this 2014, just devolve power. 10 years, you won't know Nigeria because it will be competition. I will be surprised that after 5 years, only Abia go to talk of a 24 power plant. Other states go follow suit. They will.
No.
And
This is, you see, this is the kind of innovation,
yeah,
or let me say technological grants that people
yeah.
give in foreign countries that
Mhm.
make states compete to develop. So it has only taken one person in Abia with the initiative to do this. Watch and see the envy,
Yes.
and
That,
it will make
But
it will
Madam,
make
look,
yes,
if they envy and do it in their states,
yes.
it,
Now,
it,
who
will- it
wants to
will
be left
be
behind?
no. Some will still be left behind, though.
Listen,
It-
even if it's for the, even, let me tell you, even if not the West alone, they're not go agree.
Mhm.
They're not go agree.
This is a campaign
Well,
issue
well,
now.
let's see how it,
you know,
how it,
why
how it
I'm
go,
happy
because
in this
some of
issue.
these
You know
guys
why,
they are just there for the looting.
my
Some will still
brother,
be left behind.
my
You know,
brother,
my
brother,
it starts from
my
somewhere.
brother, madam, mama. You
Yes.
know why I'm happy? You know why I'm happy now?
Yes.
One, the people that you isolated from not having any federal parastatus
Can
established. Wait, now
anything
me
good
I
come out,
land finish
come out
now.
of Nazareth?
The people that you refuse federal parastatus, the people that you refuse development, the people that you committed genocide against and lost 3.5 million, they are now setting a record as the first state among the Nigerian states to have 24, how do they call them?
24
power
hour
sup-
electricity.
24
supply.
hours electricity supply. Remember, I want to juxtapose it with what happened when Obafemi Awolowo brought TV to the West.
Exactly.
It was
To
the
the West.
first of the kind in the entire
Africa.
nation and Africa.
In Africa. Yeah.
Now a record has been set again. That is to show you that if we have to look at our progression, who have been making it stagnant, it is this same Fulani oligarch. That is the it's not enough with the Fulanis.
But me, I don't care about them making their region stagnant. One thing that Alex Otia just taught us all is the fact that there is no how you can box an Igbo man to the box. There is no how.
Mm-hmm.
If you go to the desert, see, there are some places in the world that a Yoruba man will not want to settle. You will see an Igbo man there. For example, go to Papua New Guinea. Most of this cold area in the world, you will find an Igbo person there. Now, it just shows you the intellectual capacity that the Igbo person is made of. And that's why it bothers me in this past election that the region that is also so knowledgeable as the Southeast, now Southeast, Southwest, very bright mind region. You now colluded, you Southwest, colluded with the North and put us in this mess that we have suffered one in the past 8 years. And Peter Obi came. I mean, even
but there's a way out. You see, black man, give us a mandate. My father taught me. He said, when you are inside a very big problem, if you look clearly, at that time solution there, but you no go know. That's why I say solution is this 2014 conference. Bring it out. That is the game changer. You don't let
that's the solution, but will Amoda bring it out?
It does, Shebi, that's why I don't know, but they will be hearing us or something. This is the thing, because that will change the whole thing.
Let's keep saying it. Let God keep on saying it. Let us combine to keep on saying it.
You see,
they will hear us.
The problem with Amoda's case is that he is selfish and he is an opportunist.
You guys are hard, though. Why are you calling him Amoda now?
That is what he is now. Before he changed his name now.
He gave plenty name now. But then we know we are talking to.
Yes,
but he should be conscious of his name.
You see, because the problem is that
his name in history, he should be conscious of his name in history. And this is opportunity.
Because of the baggage he has, it is difficult to find anything good that man can do, because his babalawos are too many from the north. He get too many babalawos for the north. And that is why you see now they are watching him closely. Anytime he moves, there's one threat coming from one place or the other.
I believe in that Babalawo issue, but this is my point why I say I believe. I never hear say that they give presidential judgment.
With Babalawo they fear to do something for North.
Wait. Now. The Black Panther listen to this. The day they are giving the judgment, Supreme Court, they deliver judgment. Even Professor Michael Zek, all the Asa, everyone just they sleep. So you see.
Yes, now.
Everybody. I've been a lie.
It was so long. Even the clerk was sleeping. It was so long.
Everybody sleeps. So you go see. Even journalists who can cover it. All of them were sleeping at the press gallery. Everybody. The only people where they are awake. Now the people where they give the judgment, everybody they slept, and the Agbado Day for India. I say, people come they wonder, say which kind of thing be this? All of them were sleeping.
The Babalawo plenty, the jazz is real.
But the thing is, unless maybe they don't want, however, there's always a way out. To me, this is the golden opportunity to make sure that you relieve, because. Why I'm saying this is that what made me to think this is that I say so because of this devolution of power generation. That's why Abia is going 24 hours. Can you then imagine every other thing that will follow it? Because competition will start.
The next thing now, it will move to the next state and the next state and the next state. That is why I tell them, I said, protest is nonsense. Consolidate your power in your state there. Make them
You
the
see,
cry for hunger.
there's one logic I have here. If
Sorry,
the South,
now
if the
look,
South,
you
if the
can't say
South,
Yeah.
if
you
the
can't say
South,
protest is nonsense. Is the right of the people to protest. We can't say it's
Yes, you can
nonsense.
protest, but I don't know what your protest is. I don't believe in coming out on the street and making noise. You
But we
know,
do it. But we do it where we live.
you don't get
They-
power. It has never
they can-
worked.
See, no. This
Your
protest,
your
na
protest in
individual.
Nigeria.
It
But
has
I
never
want the,
worked.
but to implement 2014 na government. That doesn't. You know that, That's why I said this is the solution. Whether this man or you take and say you don't know anything or you don't, immediately they bring this thing out. Come and see the dynamics will change.
See,
Because-
this information
Yes.
you're passing this night, an average Nigerian is not aware of it. An average what we are all hearing today, an average Nigerian is not aware of it.
Not only that,
they don't know what they happen.
exactly. All they're thinking about is stomach
So
food.
if they are aware,
See, once
the
you give
issue
them
of
food,
protest-
once
the
you
issue
give
of
them food,
protest-
you hear that.
the issue of protest
Wait
will be
now.
an issue because
Wait now,
they will have
did you hear
food to go
Shawolu has commissioned all the mama puts in Lagos?
Soup
To cook-
kitchens. Soup
to
kitchen.
cook
Yeah,
food.
that was yesterday to be
Uh-huh.
giving people food.
So we give
But
them-
the
Because
thing
we
is
don't
this,
have solution.
that's on Wolu something. Do you know one thing where the fallout where they no go know? You know the thing that they make a arrangement in terms of 15,000. Man, I say, look, if you get 1 million, say get people. Look, the arrangement was around 15,000 here. This is local government. I say, look at this man, 15,000. Now you the budget.
Yeah,
This local government. 100,000 go. You be Nigerian, then go say, Sanwo-Olu they give food free. Make we go that side.
Yes,
By
now.
the time, by the
But
time,
that's
by the
another
time they
that's
come and see,
another SPV.
I,
Another
I
SPV.
I pity them. By the time they come out from that canteen, that buka, bag of rice will be 200,000. Make them enter, make them eat free food. I just pity them.
On paper the thing good, but I don't envisage because people go queue say, Shebi they say then they give where the food now.
We shy on paper. That thing, good at all.
There's one thing all of us have to
that is
Don't
not
turn
good
Nigeria
at
to
all.
beggar.
That is not good at all.
Black
Very
Panther.
bad policy.
This
Yeah.
rice, these customs are giving us. Where did they keep it? Who brought this rice into the country? When you ban rice, customs is one of the problems of Nigeria. Is customs. They are one of our biggest problems. Where did they get the rice from? And okay, if you have
See,
the rice, why
Those are the ones that they seize. They are seized.
Now from custom, now you said you no get information at all.
Wait,
Now
Now the
from
one wey they
custom.
seize.
wait, I know you seize rice. How many years back is that rice? It never spoiled. If you think seize rice, that
But
means people bring that
Mr.
Omoshola.
Omoshola, that was the very first question of Mr. Helvis when they talk about this custom rice. Now, how long has those food been in the warehouse?
Exactly.
Now, and
That's why the
Nigeria,
hungry no see road. Now you want see where rice
my
spoil.
brother, but that see now, see, it can be funny, but it's not funny though.
Of course, yeah.
Because if you look at it, is there another way to start to take our people down? Is there another way to this guy said he came to reduce the purchasing power of the people. So if you are not able to reduce their purchasing power, you want to reduce the number of the people.
I don't tell Nigeria was make go find that video. Now Tinubu talk am during the campaign.
Because those
Reduce
food,
your purchasing
okay,
power.
even the food self, are they the original rice?
Of course
Apart
not.
from-
These are the
Brother, let me tell you one thing. Let me tell you one thing. That rice, that rice, no matter in spoil rich, if they boil am, you know will kill black man. And they tell you the truth. You know will kill black man because our gene they very strong. Forget about this way you talk. Say black, that spoil. But what did they spoil inside rice?
A Black Panther. I mean, not Black Panther. Sorry, give us a mandate. People who chop the rice never die, but now people who want go take the raw one, they stampede. Don't kill
Exactly. 7 of them. 7
7
people fight.
stampede. Stampede don't kill 7 already. But the people never cook the thing chop. So anyway, the thing is that I know we are just skating around this. To be honest with you, this 2014, this is the best time to implement that thing. One, you get a political mileage as per the government, and secondly, you will not know that Nigerians will not say, okay, since our states will not say, since we are now able to do this, and that will even help to, it will release the energy in the Niger Delta. All this idea of a guard pipeline, guard this, the people that no need, because the resources now is in their hands to a greater extent. The one they are going to manage, it will quieten things, and then they now know. Let me now know why the coastal area of Delta, Bayelsa, Rivers, and Akwa Ibom cannot be a source of huge economic advantage to them. Let me now know, because there's no point you looking towards Abuja again. If you establish hydropower somewhere off the coast of Bonny or maybe Escravos or somewhere, that is electricity for you. You can do offshore. You can do offshore fishing. There's fish alone in the Atlantic. Use it to the supply. I mean, so many people can become fishermen. Do it in a big way. Do it the way the Norwegians do it. So money will come. You don't need to go to Abuja again. That is natural. So there are a lot of things. That Atlantic, we have to use it. Brazilians are using Atlantic for a lot of things. Not only Nigeria know they benefit from Atlantic. We just see the water. We can use it to generate hydro. We can use it to go into the Atlantic and fish and then do everything. We still they complain. So because everything they tell you, waterway. Look at federal government in Abuja, we go they control waterway in the Niger Delta. No way now. It's not good.
Yeah, let me even drop this one here. You remember that this is our president, their fake president, of Niger Light. If Niger does their dam now, their Kanji dam will be short of water. Is that when Nigeria will know that they have to provide another source of power to power their country?
Don't you know the latest one on the news? They have lifted off sanctions to Niger. No
because
more.
Because they know that will affect them. That's the reason why they lifted the sanctions. They knew that this thing is going to. You know when somebody talks anyhow, you see anyhow. That is what people put us into.
Sanction.
And
what was the sanction? Which sanction was?
All the sanctions lifted.
All the sanctions.
Everything.
Lifted. They lifted all the sanctions now.
Oh, lifted.
All the sanctions they lifted before flight zone and all that zone has been lifted. All because they've agreed. Just imagine that they don't agree and they kept on these actions.
But come to think about it. That power project from when Niger go release their water, but Nigeria can still make use of that water by dredging their own side to make it control it. They can still control it. I don't know why our leaders are not thinking.
Wait.
They have not dredged it. You're having power shortage.
What in the dredge? Where you want dredge from? Where water no the flow come inside? Where you want dredge?
No, Madam, look. They never dredge jam. You get short.
They never dredge jam.
No, we never dredge jam. You get shortage of power. How many times and shut down? System they go down. Never dredge jam. Now they can't do dredge their side. Which light now get again? Nothing.
Oh, we are saying
Okay. You as an engineer now, just carry that thing, X-ray and look at the map. Why is it that we cannot find solution and now we are now wasting energy that will give to Nigeria and not giving it to them? Why don't we sign a pact whereby we make use of that water coming from them, transfer it for the agricultural product?
Nigeria does not have any business with hydro power. We have plenty of gas. It was here I talked about it, that Dangote's refinery is being run with our own gas.
No, I'm talking about the solution to that opening of that hydro in that Niger Republic.
No,
why can't we use it?
It was a treaty that went back over 40 years ago.
Many years back.
Because it is not that Nigeria cannot use their water to do their own hydro energy. It's just that they're too lazy that they cannot do it. But their agreement was to give it to some of it to Niger to power their electricity, so that way they don't have to do two dams.
No, at that point, Nigeria had money to do it. Niger didn't have that kind of amount of money. Nigeria had so much money at that point to do that kind of project. And that's why
and that is why it was enough to supply Niger something so that way. But now they don't say they are in control of their own resources.
But you see one thing I get tired of, all this signing an agreement that you cannot revisit, you cannot take advantage. It's becoming absurd. because you keep on signing agreement that you cannot review. If the agreement
You can
let us
revisit now, but
until Jesus
now
Christ
you
come,
decide to go and fight with them, and you take unnecessary knee-jerk reactions. It can be revisited, just like you can see them for talks. But as war can't come now, they can't go to military rule. All bets were off the table, so it became a frictional situation.
because what we are having now, our farmers are not getting water. The water in the river Niger or the what they call it is getting dried up. Why can't they if they release them, we go use channel and use them well? Because it's not a nuclear power plant, it's just an hydropower plant.
Black Panther, this is your dredging matter. They have signed this contract many times. They have eaten the money. They have eaten this money. I did Nigeria when they thought they would dredge Warri River. They will dredge Warri River. I'm not there when they sign them. When they give them money, I'm not there. You don't know who collect the contract. You only come and hear on news that social contract has been given out for dredging. Social money has been given for dredging. Where is the money? You understand? So all these things we are talking about, dredging money has been eaten by the contractors and the people in government. Lokoja River was signed many years back. I think it was during Jonathan's period.
Now, is it only in River Niger that we can use?
There are many rivers now. They've for dredging issue. They've been signing a contract for dredging, and money has been given out. But you have not seen one single dredger in the river. So it's just government people stealing.
You guys know one thing about the Gulf of Guinea?
No.
You see, the Gulf of Guinea is one of the place where Nigeria has the largest reserve of crude, but we've not started exploring it. And that thing has been lying fallow, and nobody is talking about it. Nobody's saying anything.
In fact, a Black Panther, like I said, I know what Madam Luke was saying before. Our underdevelopment is deliberate because the Fulani do not want the country to
progress. Exactly.
It's just deliberate holding people. You know, we started the example of what he did to Jakonde's metro line. Look at the vision Jakonde had, thinking of population in Lagos will explode, transportation will be difficult. Let me do this metro line. And when you start one, you go. So Buhari deliberately stopped it, that they are developing so fast. Everybody should hear. Then that is it. They lost the money. Now look at this type of thing.
Yeah, because all the contracts we see, being that they are barely Augustina, since they are barely literate, they know that all these projects will go to the Westerner, the Southerners, those people who are really educated. So it will put them out of, it will really rubbish them.
It's true now. It's true because it's like they've lost their control. Because, even the colonial masters, at least colonial master during the British era, they established a government college Ugeli, government college Ibadan, government college Umuahia, and the government college Zaria or Barewa College, where they put the best students. At least they still do merit. Pick brilliant students, send them in England, go and study this. But this one is just that they just want to hold this power, hold everything tight. You don't want people to progress, and you are not progressing your people. You see, if this has been a case of when you go to the north, electricity, power supply, industries, then we in the south are suffering. It's selfish. But this is a case of they don't want to.
No,
all they want.
And they can't afford to because
when
everybody is growing, they feel inferior. So that's why they have decided to reduce everybody to Amajeri, begging for palliatives and food.
Even the Jakonde stuff, that one is even too far. Just yesterday here, there was a federal government program. I've said it before, that every first class graduate gets automatic scholarship.
And
come back to invest in Nigeria. They proceed wherever. Buhari came, the first thing the Fulani people did was to stop that.
To stop it, yes, I know.
Yes,
The
they closed it.
They closed it down.
Because
Can
they
you
can't-
imagine?
They can't compete. They
They
can't.
can,
Apart from being able to compete, sir, do you know about what you talk about, Dr. CM? That metro rail line, right?
yes.
And if population outburst, that's how where you and I live. They think forward. They forward
Exactly.
thinking. They think ahead. Where we live now in Dallas, Texas, here, there are some places where I will probably be maybe 5 years ago. If you see how that place has been developed now, because they think forward and say, what can happen here in the next 5 years or in the next 10 years?
Oh,
They just think. In fact,
If-
some places
if-
there are some
if-
places that if they have 2 lanes of road, now because people are moving in, they have to begin to think out how can we, and where they cannot expand the lanes of the road, they have to do a flyover
mhm.
over
Exactly.
the places.
Over the just to you see
People
if
don't think ahead.
assuming we have statistics in Nigeria, people should
But
go
Obi
and check.
told Obi gave us statistics now. What did Amoda say? It is not statistics.
No,
Job.
I mean, if we have statistics, say you go and check the population of Lagos 1983 when Jakonde had that vision. It's 1983. 1983 was thinking of metro line just to ease transport in Lagos. Can you imagine if that thing has been operating between 1983 to 1990 to the year 2000? By now, it cannot just be Yaba to
We will just
Warren
improve
anymore.
upon it. We'll just be improving upon it.
And
that's what
that thing, like you said, it should have entered Ogun State. Before you know it, they said take
That's
it
what-
to Ikorodu. From there, put it to Ogun State. People will not be
do you
living
know what?
around
Do you know that
Ikorodu.
America is now even studying China bullet train? Okay, now from Dallas, Texas now to Houston, they are already projecting maybe in the next 5 years there'll be a bullet train. If you drive from Dallas to Houston, it's about 4 hours. But they are already projecting how can we make this thing easy so that you can be on bullet train that can take you for 1 hour. They are already projecting. But in our own country, the thieves is just
Can
to
you
steal.
imagine? That's why they say no power, no light. Why not this? Okay, let's now see within the next 10 years. Yes,
If you look at
within
this,
the
if you look at the oil sector,
yeah.
through a statistics, how many of the northerners are involved in oil exploration in Nigeria? You find out that any oil business, you find an Hausa man or a Fulani man involved. You hardly meet maybe Yoruba or maybe a Igbo person doing it. Majority of them are into oil, they're into forex. All the forex trading, majority of them are northerners.
Of course.
Mhm. Yeah, of course.
So
We
what
know.
do you expect? How can we develop if just one particular tribe has hold on to one part of the sector?
Exactly.
Check NNPC and do a sense of NNPC staff. How many are from the north?
How
And
can
most of them they didn't go to school. They're just there collecting salary. So
Look
that's
at-
why
look-
Nigeria can never develop with this kind of behavior.
Look at that market that they say they closed in Abuja. That Sahad market
okay?
that they closed. Did you see the owner of that market? I went to Google the person that owns that market. I'm not trusted this man fit even write his name. I'm not even sure that person can even write his name.
See the way.
And those are people who have used forex to diversify and open their businesses.
You see this thing where we talk here now, eh? You see this thing where we talk here. We have discovered our problem. If you say this kind of thing, say for somewhere, say Fulani are the problem, you go see the way they go become vampires. Say, why are you talking this? You are tribalizing issue. You do this, you do that.
Because you know why? Because you know why? Those are people. Those are people that don't read history, and they don't know how we got to where we are. You know, when I was always telling Mr. Naja Watch, I said, Oga, you go know history before you know where we. You say no one know what happened before in born, even this one. I say you will know because it is repeating itself over and over again.
It is.
But look, the two tribes that are giving Nigeria problem is the Yoruba and the Hausa people, not another.
When I said this here, when I said it, they said
I was at the background that day. I was watching. I didn't
They
want
said I
to
was a
comment.
tribalist.
The tribes that are giving Nigeria problem is the Yoruba person and Northerners, either Hausa or Fulani.
I also know they
Now, the reason now the Yoruba man is now the president. The Northern man is having issues, and they are biting where they are eating money from. Now it's affecting their forex. Every business that concerning the Northerners is being affected. That's why they are making noise. Because
somebody
now,
said somebody said they are protesting not because of hunger, not because they want power
no,
back.
it's their own business. They've lost power. Now they want to use. They are now asking the Igbo man to come and join them in protesting because they are not gaining what they're getting.
is it not funny?
So the best thing is let
it
the
not-
Hausa and the Northerners and Yoruba start the protest and start the country by themselves.
Is it
Now
not-
you guys can now see why I'm furious when I was speaking when we first.
Now,
I was
wait,
furious. This is why I was furious.
Wait, today, now, they will open a gas plant that will power a particular region in Nigeria and have 24 hours. Shame on the Northerners, shame on the Yoruba people.
Now you see, why Nigeria will keep going around it. And you see, we Southerners, we don't know ourselves. We have people like Uzodinma and all these crumb eaters that don't have they don't have pride. Like Okorocha, they don't have pride.
Somebody said, Madam Luke, those Okorocha and those Odemma, now because of Nigeria, I think it was concerns that said, if the Southeast Igbos are a country of their own, who is Okorocha, the next minute go take flight, go somewhere in Europe and die.
No, he will go back to Hausa land where he grew up.
Also, okay, somewhere because they know.
I was going to say that to Madam Luke. Madam Luke, you see, our Southern people, what these Hausas are leveraging on are the rotten ones among us.
Yes.
Because now, imagine. CM just told us what Dakonde did, right?
Yeah.
Most of us were born in Lagos. We saw Dakonde estate in Maltu. We saw schools in Surulere.
Exactly.
Idiaraba.
Yes, everywhere.
We did common entrance.
I went to Dakonde school.
In most of these schools.
I said when I did youth service, they were paying me salary.
In fact,
I went to Dakonde school. I was giving school.
Now me and this man talking. Now we enjoy Jakonde now. Where now?
In fact, you enjoy life. But now,
we're giving books.
God bless you. I will give you. In those days, you go to school. Your father will not even think about saying, I want to buy a size book. No, because
then they feed us in the afternoon. In the afternoon for school, they feed us.
The only thing your father will worry about is the textbook. But the others, they look for a mother, the cook head to form alliance with him. And then
when Jakonde was there, my father took me to go private school while I was growing up. When I was going to just primary 1, he took me from that school and said I will start a government school. Everybody in my area that lived around me went to Jakonde school at that period. We had they gave us food in the afternoon. It's a particular one that cooks.
Correct. You don't get that. You know. Remember the asaro.
Asaro,
Yeah,
yes. So we had that, and there was milk.
That was the last of the best of education in Nigeria.
Yes,
that
we were giving milk in the afternoon.
I mean, when you enter library, you will know you are in a library.
You know what I told them? Though I didn't go secondary school, I attended my secondary school, boarding school in Anambra, my state. But let me tell you this, until I came to UK, now they hear cancel house, cancel this. Now I don't know. So this was what Jakonde was doing in Lagos.
Yes.
Okari housing estate, Ekpore housing estate, all those houses, those houses around my two. Then you go and see Okafa everywhere all over Lagos. I say, so this was the idea of Jakonde. Okiefa, So I said, so this was this thing I saw in UK here. That's what Jakonde was doing. You see, the man gave vision.
No, it's not about the man gave vision. He's a forward thinker. He was a forward thinker. Now, I said something earlier here. Do you know, sir, that before Tinubu became governor of Lagos State, Buba Marwa was arresting touts in Lagos. Boundary market, because CM, you know Boundary
Yeah,
market.
yes. They were arresting tout.
They will pick out in Boundary market. They will pick them up, put them behind their pickup. They not burn any Agbero well to come out in Boundary market. Buba Maruwa, Tad, Boundary, New Road,
Those
Asha,
days,
all of those. He did all of those
Exactly.
places. What did this
when
Amoda do?
Barbara was there, when you have issues with armed robbers, I've seen that one in my presence. Call police number. It takes 15 minutes before you know. It's not only 15 minutes, you see vehicles of police in your area just for one incident. It was not as if it's not Nigeria.
Operation Sweep. I think that Marwa introduced them.
Yeah, but
before you know, you have vehicles of police officers everywhere, and it was 2 police officers to 1 vehicle.
Oh, they were very, very effective.
Oh,
very, very effective.
Finally, so somebody's asking for a price of £10. What happened to Jakonde?
Jakonde is gone.
Jakonde is gone now. He's late.
No, so how did he end his? How did he end it?
He's gone, yeah.
He was sick. I mean, there's an old age. He died.
Yeah, he was an old man. Men that they live honorable life. Up until today, you can still point to Jakonde estate in my 2.
That man, God will bless him.
Let me say something. Do you know? I went to Nigeria some 2 or 3 years ago. Our pa in those days.
I beg, Black Panther, give us our mandate. Wait to. They say wait here happened to Jakonde. How come none of us know that Buhari also arrested this man?
Wow.
Buhari arrested this man.
Just like he did with Abrusalina. Now
exactly what he did.
During the coup, he arrested them. You
can imagine a coup plotter. A common plotter arresting people that meant well, and all of them that went to those jails, they never came back.
Never come back. Yes,
in their good sense again.
Yes, and then this is the man that now came back as a civilian
and became president.
The common coup plotter arresting nationalists. Buhari arrested him like he did to Ambusale.
And then they think that, and then this was the person that Moda thought he would bring to come and rule Nigeria for 8 years.
No, the 8 years sent us back another 50 years now.
Oh my God!
Nigerians they are begging for food already on the street of Nigeria.
Do you
know that in Lagos in those days, if you walk in the cool of the evening in our upper area, you go to envy dog. You go to envy dog. I mean, I went to school in Upper. When we are trekking home, you just enjoy the cool of the evening, the serene environment.
Clean.
You gonna catch a catfish inside gutter water.
See the problem of Nigeria again, The schools they're talking about Jakonde school. I went to Okpebe Grammar School. Okpebe Grammar School had a very big land. Go to Okpebe Grammar School tomorrow. They've sold those land to private.
Oh, now Okpebe you go. Chineke, this man. I'm my next door neighbor.
I left Okpebe. I went to Ikeja High School. Ikeja High School.
CIHS.
You understand? Let's look at these people. GRA was where I grew up. All the houses of Nigerian.
Are there GRA in Nigeria now? Do you see GRA in Nigeria?
Nigerian Airways. I'm telling you that GRA Ikeja. If you go there now, you will not like that environment again. This was the environment we lived.
Those are no more
nightclub there now. Nightclub and hotel.
Those are now government rejected area now. They have been rejected. Government rejected area.
Reminded me of how I lived while I was growing up. I could go to my next door neighbor's house without touching the road. We had walk paths to each other's apartments. You move around. There was nothing like insecurity. But then now, that same place, they've sold all the houses. The last house we stayed in GRA. I don't know who bought it. They've turned it to apartments for luxurious flats. This is Lagos State government land.
My brother, I say in those days, as early as 2 a.m. or 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m., small children in their 18s, in their 20s, you can easily walk from Apa to any part of Lagos State without anybody harassing you.
No.
In fact, we will get back home. You go get back home, and then sleep. Just sleep outside. You go sleep outside. on a
I said,
house.
those are the times when you will miss your way. A stranger will carry you to your father's house.
It's true. It's true.
One day, I missed bus for my school. I don't know where I go, play, go, come back. They don't carry everybody go to house. I was the only one left outside the compound where I was doing my favority. Now, passerby say, Madam, what are you doing here? Where do you live? I described my house, carried me to my dormot of my father's house. A stranger took it upon. Now try it. You don't go be there. You don't go.
Do you know?
Is it
As
try and I?
do you know?
But
The stranger said,
Do you
go
know?
use person to go do ritual now.
Do you know?
The ritualist, huh?
Do you know why? This 2014 something is like that is the oxygen Nigeria needs. You know, as we are talking, I opened it in the background. Let me tell you one of the things you wanna go shout. He said they have to enact antitrust law, reason to prevent monopoly.
Yes, now, and also to ban funding for pilgrimages.
Exactly, antitrust law,
Yes.
so that no one person going to supply cement or pure water.
Yes.
Antitrust. You see, because which means this
That's
thing we
why
not get, which means we not get that before. Yes.
Oga, that's why I said that's 2014.
Hi.
For it to come to fruition, it will be to their own detriment. That's why they don't want to do it.
That is it,
You
and
know,
that's
they
what, and that's
never.
why
But
why
even at that, I'm still not overly convinced that there will be no saboteurs. See, amongst the people of the southwest or southeast or south, you
I
know,
doubt.
even if
I
they
doubt.
come, I'm still not overly convinced. You will see
Okay.
one or two saboteurs
Yeah,
that
they may
will
be.
stand because they will think only of their own selfish goal, one just their own selfish reasons, not
My
for the
God.
overall interest of the
Antitrust
people.
law.
We are talking
No,
about. Do you think that the Fulani cannot sit with the former governor of Imo State? What's
Okorocha.
his name? Okorocha. Do you think Okorocha will not hold a press conference and be talking rubbish? Do
Anyway,
you think that there are still not 2 or 3 people like that?
Anyway, he talking rubbish.
You know?
Let me tell you one thing about that Okorocha said. Sometimes, be say person loot, na him be the thing. Okorocha is the first governor in Nigeria where I know. He finish. He say Imo State still they owe am 8 billion.
Can you imagine? For doing what?
He say in money where in there entitled to, where in no collect, where in still live Imo State. Imo State.
You know what point about that guy? Yeah, you know what point about that guy? The day when we were doing the campaign, that's 2015, 2014 or so.
Mm.
And I was opportunity to be working with very close to Okorocha there. My boss was working with him directly. We did many projects in Owerri. The annoying thing is that the day I thought with that Buhari was a human being, he came to this guy's house and said, "This guy is a thief." Okorocha's compound, it's bigger than Aso Rock. Okorocha's compound. Anybody
for Okorocha. Saying Okorocha. But okay, just for people where go they say, Okorocha, when EFCC went to arrest him.
Let me give you that one. Is that EFCC matter? Let me explain that EFCC. The estate the wife was building and designed that entire estate. Do you know the PA to this person called me one day after I finished the job and said, "Did they give me any receipt at any point when I was doing the job?" I said, "I don't have any receipt." I never knew EFCC was after them. So they didn't document.
No. You see, Okorocha, let me say special. Okorocha no one come. EFCC they write you, make you come. No be say, I know they are not that brutal, but they will tell you they need you. So Okorocha no agree, go just ignore them. Feel say now waiting. So the day EFCC came, maybe he had a wind. They lock gate. They have to force the gate open. Come in. Okorocha dey inside house.
Lock
Everywhere. EFCC safe na Jaguda. They go climb the roof, open the what they call it, the roof. From the roof, they jump into the house. It was shown on TV now. They open. So when Okorocha say EFCC don't surround the house and they don't want to come through, break the door, They went to the roof, opened this thing, some of the zinc or what in they take roof and open it, jump in, open the ceiling, then jump down. Okorocha there on the floor, they say, God help me. It was just
Don't mind that criminal. I say, God help me.
Is it that video, eh? That house he was, I think that at the Abuja house. It
yeah.
wasn't at the house of Willie, eh? It will
Yeah.
ask more for years to enter. It will ask more for years to enter that house. I'm going to be Abuja. Now Abuja apartment house, that will be. Because if you see the house he has in his village, in his place.
No,
Just
na
like
Abuja, na Abuja house, na Abuja house.
Abuja house, I mean the enter. If not the way they own, EFCC, na feel reach 20, na not enter the compound. Not talk of enter the house or enter room.
just like
Wow.
Oshomalo own for Edo State.
Okay,
Mhm.
okay. I hear. I think Oshomole, the one I saw, whether not true, may not confirm. He said we are in the ones how he built for Iyamo opposite. He go put police station opposite.
Yes,
With
now.
that one actually, you get someone to get estate for South Africa, very big estate. South
No.
Africa. When I see the video,
He
I
said
get my head that day.
Oshomole house for village opposite and police station, so that make him make sure say police they overlook these people. He go be and all these things. To be honest with you, there's one key, and I'm convinced now. When you put this 2014 conference in this thing, Nigeria will just look. The whole South will just explode. 10 years. Bam. All
That is if
a big
this
if really.
criminal cabal will agree to it.
It's true.
Because
Hi.
it's selfishness that is holding the whole country down. They will keep perpetrating it just to hold on to their own selfish. Because if everybody enjoy now, who go be the who go they hail them? Who will they be looking down on?
Yeah, I don't know whether you people, Marshall, I don't know whether any of you have heard this. You know, there used to be a man called Professor Jubril Aminu, who was a senator,
Yes,
minister for education during Babangida time and some of this. So, and they think they give him foreign affairs one time. So, this Jubril Aminu, for Senate, a professor of medicine. So they were talking about this education, exposing this. They said the man said, if everybody become educated, how you go get housemaid?
Exactly. Exactly. That's exactly what it is. If everybody's, you know, because they don't feel that people should even grow in their own self-worth.
You see, that is why part of the crime Jonathan committed was to go to build Almajiri school. So I now know that deliberately they kept them down in the north, not to educate them.
You don't know before.
And when
That
they
is
keep
what
them,
they've been doing now.
when they keep them down like that, it is easy to use them as errand boys and touts.
And then to unleash them if there is a jihad.
Yes, because they will tell them they are fighting a holy war because their brain can only handle such.
You see, Mr. MC and Madam Luke. You see why sometimes when I speak concerning all this Islamic religion and this reason of the jihadis, these are not the doctrine of the real Islamic world.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
They have just like Jehovah's Witness. Who is making noise? Somebody is making noise somewhere.
I don't know, not me.
So that is why you see in Nigeria now you have Jehovah's Witness, you have the Pentecostal, you have this, you have that. You see, the people, the Christians.
Just mute your.
Okay, Naim. You see the Christians, they refuse Jehovah's Witness. That is why you see they don't boldly, you cannot see them boldly speak because every other people, they be able to learn their own portion of the scripture very well. But if you see the Islamic part, this Shiite, they brought another level of Islamism. That's the volatile level, what they were practicing then. They brought it back that they want everybody to go into that abstract world. Now
like the one that want to chop off our first lady's head.
Yeah, that is the abstract world, because if they go there, they'll be able to perpetrate their evil, and because that thing is corruption personified. That is corruption. So when we do, we should not be surprised.
The kind of thing where they get fight in 1900s, where they went around on cows and camels, slaughtering people that didn't believe in their nonsense.
It's true. Hey, Jesus Christ. So which means, do you know one thing? Oh God. Why this is sometimes I remember telling somebody, say, look, sometimes if you blame Oyibo, don't blame Oyibo. When Oyibo was colonizing, Oyibo was even interested in building it. What can you do? If you are brilliant, they will give you scholarship, go and study Oyibo. They were I mean, people study. So this is deliberately Fulani holding power. It doesn't want Nigeria to develop.
I beg,
Just
why are you calling Oyibo people, please? Please.
No. I said because of
different levels and a different level. Your humanity, they near our own at all. Even if you decide to even call an Arabic person from a different country, if you say Saudi Arabia, they are even more humane than these barbaric creatures we have running all over the Africa.
It's true. Hey.
When you compare, go to all the other Islamic countries. Which one is as backward as this one in northern Nigeria?
Exactly. There is no way. I used to tell people, I said, look, this Islam. The number one Muslim country in terms of population is Indonesia. More than how many million? Yet, most of their 90% of the industries there are American. Puma, I think that is where the Nike of America, they have that is like the biggest. And you see their ladies doing shift morning, afternoon, night. But in Nigeria, they tell you, hey, no, Islam say woman no go they come out or all this. Oh God. These people,
Mr. CN.
They stagnated Nigeria.
Mr. CN, you see this thing where they talk now, where some people know they like to want go there, but we'll go finally go there. You see, India is a model that we can look and juxtapose it with our own country as a whole. I am saying India has more than 195 tribes with different language, but still they are doing well. Look, people, they go rent them now, their platform to take their own satellite to the moon because their platform is the cheapest now in the world. Now, we know they look that side. India came with their own constitution after the British left. They kept the parliamentary system of government. What we've been practicing, where Zik was the supreme head as the president, where that Abokiman was the prime minister. That is what the Indians are still practicing today, and they can be able to manufacture their own nuclear head, their own arsenal, everything about military. They'll be able to manufacture it. You see, when we talk on, let us look at a model, and we know where we are coming from because it's the same British that ruled them, but they decided to fashion it and see the beauty in their diversity. Do you know that there's Indian Chinese in India? When I was going through it, I saw that they have Indian Chinese. See, we Nigerians, I don't know why sometimes it is very difficult for us to really, that's the ability for us to really study and really, go into different system of governance that we can use to look at our own as a model. Indian is the best example that I can take because I've gone through everything. India is the best example that I can take that I cannot put forward because we are multi-ethnic group, 200 over 200. India have over one. I don't have the accurate one because it's more than 200. When I was studying it, I was shouting. My wife was asking me, what did they shout for? I said, come and look at India now, like us now, but look at them. They'll be able to mold it together. Everybody has focused on one thing. We want to make our country great. Because of what our forefathers have undergone, we must make this unity great. That was what made. Look at it now. They have a woman, the Black Indian, as the president. That's what they call the supreme. They call it the supreme head. Everything that the parliament go through, they want to sign, it goes through that lady. But the active one, the one that prosecutes the economic things, and the one that does everything on behalf of India, on behalf of the president, is the prime minister. They fashion it in such a way that it's helping their system, and now American businessmen all over the world and some other Israeli all over the world, they are pulling out $4 trillion from Chinese investment. They are pulling down to India. As we are speaking now, they have pulled it out. So that is to tell you that their system are able to attract foreign investment because they have annexed a multi-ethnic group and they have made it beautiful to the world. And look, can you imagine India having more than 190 something tongues? And we are here talking about, oh, make we speak our language, make we speak this. We don't know what we are doing. This Fulani, we also drive them, pursue them, come up for Nigeria, pursue with cane, everything.
Exactly, just run them all up.
Run them out because they are the ones stagnating our progress.
It's true. It's true.
Look at India. Go and study. I want you, Mr. Naja, Mr. Tien, go study them. You go see the replica, a very bold replica of us in them. Why have we not been able to do it? Because of one dirty people.
Yeah,
I don't want to change. Can you imagine a minister of a senator said they value goat, cow more than human being in the Senate floor?
It's true.
Is it only that one?
Each time I browse through Facebook, and I jam and I meet any of these documentaries like production of material, those guys, they have factories. The one that even got me crazy most is the fact that they started producing gari. I saw cassava factory, gari factory on the internet. Indians are frying gari before you there, and they are bagging it. It is a shame. Trailer load were just jumping cassava, fresh cassava. There was no human being that touched that cassava. It was all machine.
Okay, yeah. It's like I saw that, that cassava something. Then go even peel them through different procedures. Peel and then until
normal factory setting. Machine was still the one frying it. No human being touched that gari. No human beings, all machineries. At the end of the day, the machinery the final person that touched it was bagging it and sacking them. That is a shame for us. Our own gari, China, Indian will not be frying for us. And then they will bring it to us. CN, very soon, that thing, maybe you start seeing Lebanese and all these people selling our gari for us again.
They were selling your palm oil all the way there. So what else can they not sell?
Is it palm oil we're talking about? You go to African shop in Nigeria, in UK here. I am yet to see a Nigerian banga sauce in Ghana. I will see Cameroon.
Okay, well, just one moment.
It's a shame for us. It's a shame. And I won't be surprised. This plant being built in Anambra State too. Will be the genesis of the Igbo to produce what they can produce because of power. And I know it's power that is the issue of everybody. If they have power, they will produce more things. More people will go into industry.
So that's good. This is going to be an eye opener for them now. Watch and see what will happen.
Don't send that to me now because they will commission.
So they commission it today. Hopefully they commission it today.
26th.
Let's give them towards the end of the year. We'll not see the magic.
And then see how there's an orchestrated attempt to hold us back. You see this useless policy.
Now I know. Now I know the reason why people said don't join the protest. Now I can see the reason why don't join the protest.
Yes, so because it will set them back now.
Yes, I can see the reason why now.
Because look at what they're trying to do. Look at what that other man is trying to do. I don't know why that illiterate of a man is the one that is the head of all the nursing organization. How can an illiterate man that didn't go to school come and be the head of the nursing body and now trying to frustrate them not to leave the country?
Because it's not good to school.
Can you imagine?
See, the truth is,
we
those
just
same
discuss
other things,
generally
you can't
about
practice
how
outside
Nigeria is
Nigeria.
very backward
You
because
cannot,
of
that's why
this
they want to stay in Nigeria and
nonsense.
live
In
there.
short, we are talking about this power something. Say now, then go commission, and then before you know,
Yeah,
they even
yeah,
think that the moment they
yeah,
commission it, within the next
yeah,
5 years, so many states will like to have this
device.
because this thing is very, very, very important.
So I believe things will change very soon.
Even
Oga
if to
CM,
sleep, if to sleep,
you are multitasking, oh, mute yourself.
you know
Yeah,
what?
you're not even hearing us.
I was telling somebody, say, look,
CM, mute your device.
second-hand washing machine wey full euro go finish. Why?
CM won't give us another gist now.
No,
CM, mute.
I just the talk now. I say, people go just cargo the thing.
CM is on another platform.
My flat, and we get washing machine. Should be like
CM,
just like
mute.
euro. That is the power.
He's on 3 platforms at once.
People will be using it, and
It's
they have to
everywhere.
according to why it they said the trial could be 7
All right, gentlemen, it's been a good night. I'm going to sign off now. See you tomorrow.
As it just did the study, they could add
Madam Luke,
megawatt.
good night.
Good night. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, you do well. Good
No
night.
problem.
This is what we
CM, I want us now.
Fulani whole power. Do something you can do. And it's because of this decentralized, what they call it, devolution of power. That's why this thing happened, because they devolve power. That's why now Abia can now do their own. It's been there since because of Aba. The power the industry is there. It's good, it's good, it's good, it's good. Very, 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 very. And yeah, oh yes, the disco. Who was even was it to do? They said they finished that. They finished that part of it. Person say, why you go they dance like this? Make one no come. When this one no come be another Adeleke. When they do for turn, I tell them say no. Me I know the first thing is that central first. Let it go to the central. I think Udu was agreeing with me also. I said central now. You have to go to central. How can Obaseki finish 8 years? Okay, he collect from Oshimole from north, do 8 years. When he finish 8 years, he'll go give north again, or he go give to south. I said no, it's not worth it. They have to go and look for candidate in the central, and then there's a formidable candidate for them to go and look. To be honest with you, I can't support that. I don't think it will fly. Never, no way. This is matter something. If that is what their people in the
But
south
Aburi could have done that now before the primaries. But now they've already done primaries. I don't know how they are going to change that.
finish your hand over. No. And Nigel Watch said he's not interested in. He said he hasn't got opinion. They don't get candidate. Only people be the person where he campaign for. He said nobody. Say never see character where they like people being go support. Say no, he don't support for this. Doing go they neutral. He don't even talk and before. He said, but anybody is free to come and canvass for a candidate here. Shebi say he go bring them for interview. And I asked him, saying them go come. That's Philip Schreiber we expect him. Philip Schreiber think saying go win the primary for PDP now. So he told Niger Watch he will be coming. So Niger Watch